Welcome back to the City of Palms podcast. Two brothers got together to shine light on talented individuals in the Southwest Florida area. I don't know. It's a sketchy intro. Episode 107. How you doing, bro?
I'm doing good, bro. I already feel special. Like, I'm talented? No.
Yeah, you
I
are.
just
You
work
are.
hard. I just
You are
work hard,
talented.
That's all.
You are talented. First time I met you, actually, I was like, I think I told him, I was like, that dude John seems wise. First thing I said.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Thanks. I just get it from everybody else, honestly.
There you go.
Yeah.
Oh, whatever works, dude. Whatever works. Glad to have you in here.
Dude, it's good to be here, honestly. I'm excited.
Heck yeah.
So,
Heck yeah. Can we roll with that intro?
Yeah,
Good enough, right?
yeah, good enough.
Good enough.
Still a pretty show.
How you doing, dude?
I'm doing real good. It's been a solid day.
Solid. And so I'll get into a story, I guess. So, it's talking about a competitor company. You already know the competitor, but I'll kind of just leave the name out of it for the time being. So we run leads, and like we have we have like appointment setters that set the leads for us. So we get an email, and it's like we run that appointment. And Mondays through Fridays we have like 10 2s and 6s, and then or Monday through Thursday, and then Fridays and Saturdays we have 9s, 12s, and 3s. So shorter days.
yeah.
So this past Friday, I get a lead. Thursday night, I get it actually. For the morning, it's at 8 a.m. And I'm like, okay. Name on it says, I'm going to say Kenneth Bond. That is actually the name that is said on the lead. And you'll find out why I just said the real name because it doesn't even matter. All right, so Kenneth Bond. I'm like, okay, funny. I'm thinking like last name Bond. My first impression on that was just like James Bond. That's just kind of weird. I was like, whose name is actually Bond?
The name's Bond. Kenneth Bond.
I know. That's what, dude. And I thought he would say that. Okay. Anyway, I literally thought I was like, you're sad for not saying that. But okay, so it's in Punta Gorda for like 7 windows and 3+ doors. So I go out there, do my thing, and I'm like not to like brag or whatever, but I'm the assistant manager, so I would say I know what I'm doing. You know what I mean? I know what I'm doing out there as far as like representation of the company and who we are, because I care a lot. So this guy basically tells me that okay, his story was like he's a trim carpenter from Chicago, and he's like, hey, listen, I'm gonna get 3 estimates, and I'm getting them all today because I took today off. You were the first one here. It's at 8 a.m. He's like, my last one's at 1, so I'll know by 3. Really what I'm going with, and I'll call you regardless. I can meet you at the office and we'll go from there. I'm like, okay, that'll work. I was like, if I don't hear from you by like 3, can I call you? Yeah, okay, perfect. So I go to my next appointment. It's like a 12:30 in Naples, so then I don't get out of there. That one ran me pretty late. Long story on that too, but I got out of that one at like 3, and then called this guy at like 3:30, left him a voicemail. And then I'm on the phone with my wife, and then I get a call. You know how iPhones have that caller ID?
Yeah.
So it says the competitor company that I talked about earlier.
Mm-hmm.
It says the competitor company. And at this time, I'm thinking, why is this number calling me? And so I just answer it, and it's this guy. It's Kenneth Bond. And he's like, hey, it's Kenneth Bond. Like, I just called you. I told you I'd follow up with you. So it's like, I'm a man of my word. I'm going to follow up and tell you whatever. And he's like, I just want to let you know I went with competitor company on this project. And I'm like, why? And he's like, far superior product, $6,000 cheaper. And I'm like, far superior in what way? Because like we literally carry the best of the best windows. We back them for life. And he's saying all these specs, all these like spectacles, and that I didn't even know of. And I'm like a window expert. Like he's saying stuff that I'm just like, okay. And then I didn't really call him out. I think because at this point I knew. So I was just trying to pry information from him. Like I was like, who are they getting their windows from? What's their guarantee look like? Stuff like that. Yeah. I was like, what kind of glass are they using and everything like that. And just trying to pry from it as much as I could because I knew exactly it was like a storm. It was a competitor company. Somebody trying to get information.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, all right, and he's just like, oh, sorry for like, I hope it's not a waste of your time. You did good, yada yada. You did real good. I'm like, all right. And then I went home, and I'm kind of like thinking about it, and I'm like, he drove a really nice truck, and I mean, we make bank for like what we do, but I'm thinking, who is this guy? I was like, he must be doing this for a long time. So I like Googled the name of the company and then owners, and like first one that popped up was like the CEO of the company, and like his face. I was like, that's the dude, and it was the CEO of this freaking company that just went undercover, like getting leads to try to see like competition out there, and I just feel like I was like, oh, I got so hard.
Really? Like, so it was the CEO of this particular company just trying to feel out the competition?
Yeah, trying to like see
Gather
what other
data.
people are doing, what they're serving, what their pricing are, how they do their pitch.
You
how they
said
do
his
their
voicemail
drops.
even said Kenneth Bond too,
Yeah.
right? The man went all
Dude
out.
even changed his voicemail. And it's like...
Didn't change the caller ID though.
Yeah, exactly. Can't change that.
Giveaway.
Now I know his exact name. I got him on Facebook and stuff. I don't got him, but I wanted to add him on Facebook to just be like, you didn't get away with it completely.
Yeah.
I know who you are.
For sure.
Um,
Just kind of have that last laugh type of deal.
yeah.
Hey.
Yeah. I'm still thinking of how I want to deal with it. You have to own a house to like set the lead, but I really want to like talk to my oldest brother. He lives down the road. He owns his house, and I want to like talk to him about like setting a lead with that company and just have me sit in there and just see how they do it, because I'm like, man, now I feel like they can't have the upper hand.
Bro, you should just kind of change your name up just a little bit and go Bond Kenneth.
Exactly.
Switch it up.
Exactly.
Switch it up.
Exactly.
So it's just obvious enough to one person.
Yep.
And that's it.
Yep. For real.
Oh, jeez.
Facts. Yeah, so that was crazy. That was weird. I was like, wow. And then at first, when I found out he was the CEO, part of me wanted to hope that I was like on Undercover Boss in a weird way. But then I realized I didn't work for that company. I was like, it would never work. I just got. Yeah, I just got. It sucked, but
Now you have that story to tell
Happens.
forever though. That's crazy
yeah.
that you ran a lead that was just the CEO of a competitor company gathering data.
Yeah. Yeah.
Bro, that's crazy to me. Just to go like that far.
That's
Yeah,
what I'm
to,
saying,
like-
man.
like-
Just sell some windows, bro. Like,
Yeah.
relax, dude.
Yeah, find your product, do a percentage to make profit on it, make sure everybody gets paid well, and just go with it. Be honest about what it is, even if it's a better product and it's more cheaper. Just run it.
Exactly.
So-
Yeah.
I used to work for a grocery store company. If you listen to the podcast, you've probably heard me say the name before, but I'm not going to say it right now. We used to have to do that where one person in the store once a week would go to competitor stores, like the nearest to that store would go to like Publix, and they'd go to Walmart, and they'd go to all the competitor stores, and there's a list of products to check, and you'd have to walk around the store and like check prices, and it'd be like canned corn, like what is the price this store has, and you'd write down all the competitor prices and put it into spreadsheets at our store so that we could have lower prices than other stores. And I always thought that was weird, like having to go out and do those missions. And I heard there were some managers that would wear the uniform of this company to the other stores, and I'm like, how? Because I felt like weird, because I would have like my notes and stuff, and I figure most employees of the store I'm in would think I'm just like shopping, but I wouldn't ever walk out with anything. I would just like go in and look at a bunch of products and write a bunch down
He's
and then
serious
leave.
about his budget.
Man's got a clipboard. I do bring a clipboard to the grocery store sometimes.
Yeah.
Really?
What for?
I'm particular about my lists. I got for Christmas last year, I got this thing, it's on the fridge right now. It's called I don't remember what it's called, but it's on the fridge. It's like a pad of sticky notes, kinda. It's like a big pad, and it has lists of just bunch of household items, and you can check off whenever you run out of it. And so then whenever I go to the store, I just tear that off the fridge and then just like take that. And I love grocery shopping, bro. I'm weird.
Bruh, like I have to do it like either at the end of the week or the beginning of the week, and I'm that type of person to where like when I cook for myself, I could eat like chicken, rice, and either Brussels sprouts or asparagus.
Yes.
Like, the rest of my life. And so like I'll go to like 2 grocery stores, the cheapest one around, and then because of that place, since it's the cheapest, you just can't buy chicken there. I've bought chicken there too many times, and it's just been spoiled, and I'm like, okay, not doing that again.
Dude, you remember that too. That's the worst when you open up chicken and you're just like, I can't eat that because it smells up the whole house, and you just know immediately.
Well, like, I don't think it had been like rancid for too long, but it had just been like a day or so, and so I'd open it, and it kind of looked weird, kind of felt like almost like chicken syrup almost.
Yeah.
And it's like you sniff it and you're like, jeez. And I just wasted like $10 on this chicken. I'm like, so I'd always have to go to like Publix or something and get my chicken there, and it's like, it's a lot more expensive than the typical stores. And so it's like, well, it's chicken though. And so I'd do that, and I'd have a set like budget of like $70-$80 for the week for food. And I'd be like, okay, I'm good, and just cook. And so, but yeah, I forgot where we're going with this.
No, I'm the same way. I could eat mine though is chicken, rice, and broccoli. I could have chicken and broccoli probably every meal every day for like my whole life and be satisfied. Or Moe's. I could eat Moe's every day, and
Welcome to Moe's.
I worked there for so long when I was younger. Yeah, I worked there for like 4 years. And usually when you work at a restaurant, you start to get sick of the food, and everyone who works there is like, oh, I gotta eat this every day because you get discount and stuff. But I loved it. Every single day I loved it. I'm like, yes, my employee meal. What am I eating today?
Dude, that's awesome.
Heck yeah.
Yeah.
Let me ask you, with the chicken thing, if you get home from the store and like that same day or night or whatever you're cooking chicken and you open it and realize it's bad, would you then return that chicken or just cut your losses?
I just cut my losses, bro.
Yes.
So I had to, I just got in a relationship. It's about 6-7 months old. Oh, what's up, buddy? But I had to find myself a girlfriend that is like if I complain about something, like they got my order wrong, that she would go and talk to whoever, because I'm just not. I'll just like I do not like what's it called?
Confrontation.
Well, yes, but I was also going to say like zucchini or squash. Yes, I don't like confrontation, but also squash or zucchini. So like if it gets put on my plate, I'm just going to eat it just because I don't want that awkward like I know it's not their fault, and I would never like, yo, you got this wrong, but like, hey, they messed up my order, can you like take it back? Not that person, just gonna eat it.
Yeah,
I don't care. And so, but she's that type of person, and I'll be like, they messed up my order, and she's like, don't touch it. I'm like, well, they're gonna take it back, and she's like, yeah, that's the point. I'm like, why? No. And so it's, for me, it's just like I don't want to deal with it, so I'll just throw it away and DoorDash something, or just find the other meat that I bought or whatever, like fish or something.
Yeah. I'm the same way. Because, dude, there were times at that company I worked for where there would be customers that would... Dude, one time it was so awful. It was someone... I think it was like a steak or something, or like a brisket or something, but it had gone bad, and so they returned it, and I'm like, whatever. We have a return policy, so I'm not going to be mad about you returning it, but it's just like... Dude, there's time I would tell him like, bro, just bring the wrapper next time. Like, just throw the product away and then just bring the wrapper, please. Because there's time it smells so bad, bro. If like, especially like a lot of times the cashiers would just like throw it in the garbage can next to them, or like garbage can in the back, and it would just sit there. And dude, there was one time, nastiest thing ever. There was a cart of product that needed to go back on the shelf that just like over accumulated and stuff. But someone had mistaken a trash cart for a cart of things that had to go back. So in the bottom of the trash cart was one of these return items, and it was like a brisket or something, and it had sat there all day, and then days actually, because they didn't take the product back. People were like slacking and stuff, so it was that cart was just in the back for like days. And then when I finally like got around to taking care of it, I get to the bottom of the thing, and I'm just smelling this just awful smell, and I'm like, what the heck? And I pick up a grocery bag that's just like wet and stuff, and I'm like, what is this? And I open it up, and I'm in like the office at the time, and I open it up, and it's just rancid, dude. The worst smell, and it was awful.
Yo, so living like on my own, buying my own groceries now, I found out the hard way how potatoes go bad. Like I just thought they'd either like shrivel up and dry up, because I'm from like a dry area. But here, it's like they liquefy.
Dude, and it's one of the worst smells of like bad foods.
Like terrible. I'm smelling this thing in our pantry, and I'm like, what is this? And I pick up like this sack of potatoes, and I'm like,
yeah,
it's not good soup. Not good soup.
I've got stories upon stories about that. Like I love watermelon, and I would like not like watermelon sometimes, like the thought of watermelon, because having that season when it's in grocery stores, having these big pallets of product like that, in the bottom there's ones that go bad, and when it's not necessarily that they smell very bad, but it's like you can pick up a watermelon, and if it has like a bad spot, your hand can just completely go through it, and it's just liquid watermelon inside. Same with pumpkins. Pumpkins smell really bad though when they've gone bad, but glad I'm out of it.
100%. But
that's bad. That's bad. Potatoes smell bad. I've had that same thing happen. Where I'm like, what does this smell? And I look in the pantry.
So bad.
Ew. I'm like, when did I even buy these?
For real. That always happens to me, dude. I always mean well. I'm like, I'm gonna make potatoes. I'm gonna make mashed potatoes. I'm gonna make potatoes for breakfast.
Yeah. You're like,
Don't even touch it.
Why do I need a 5-pound bag? You're like, yeah, I'll make them fried. I'll do this way. Yeah.
I'll do a couple things with
You
them.
do one thing and it's the rest go bad.
Yeah.
Like, yep.
Dude, the meat at the restaurant thing, that happened to us in Jacksonville, right? We're like, was I satisfied with the steak? No, neither of us were very satisfied.
Dude, neither
hey, go
of
on,
us.
you gotta get down, bud.
We got gypped, and then we were like halfway through the steak, and we're like, why didn't we send these back?
I know, and they're like, how is everything? And we're just like, good. But it's just we ordered medium rare, and they were like very rare.
They were so raw.
Very rare.
Yo, okay.
So rare.
So I got a story about that, except it's not steak, it's chicken.
Oh, no.
So, so I'm from Lubbock, Texas, and so it's developing really fast right now because of the college and just everybody's moving there because of the oil boom as well. But this new restaurant opened up. It's kind of close to our house, and I think my brother was off playing basketball. He played basketball for college, and my mom, I think, was in Fort Worth or something seeing her parents. But this place was called Twin Peaks.
Okay.
Didn't know what it was, and we walked in and we were like, oh, that's what it is. And so we sit down at the bar area just watching sports on the TVs, and I ordered buffalo wings, and I got it breaded and stuff, and it came out. I'm like, okay. And so like I started eating it, and it was kind of like real chewy and stuff, so I look at it, and it's like raw. It's pink. It's pink at this moment. But not like cooked pink. And so I was like, okay, I finished that first wing.
Wow.
And so it's almost like it was cooked mostly, but like as you get closer to the bone, because I don't like adult chicken nuggets. I like wings. So it's closer to the bone that it was raw.
Yeah.
So I get through like 6 of these, and the 6th one is purple, like it's like basically blood in it. I took a bite out of it, and like I ate that bite, and I was like, "This is raw." And she's like, "How do you like this?" I'm like, "Well, I mean, I ate 6 of them, but these are still raw."
Oh goodness!
And so like she took them back, of course, and they brought a new plate of it. They paid for it. It was awesome. But yeah, I ate 6 raw chicken wings and was completely fine.
Nice.
So people are like, people always ask me how to cook chicken as well, and I'm like, just throw it in the oven, put some heat on it, it's fine. And they're like, aren't you scared of being raw? I'm like, no, not at all. I rather have raw chicken than overcooked chicken. So, which is weird, but just dry chicken to me,
Overcooked chicken's bad.
it's terrible. Like
Yeah.
I rather just like take a bite of it and be like, oh, that's raw, and just throw it back in, instead of like, oh, it's like desert chicken. Okay.
Yeah.
And then there's no going back. You got a whole
the
chicken breast
the
that's just.
driest thing.
Yep.
Yeah.
That happens to me in the morning sometimes. I'll try to like time everything good to where I like start some food and like get like some things ready for work and this and that, and like sometimes in my bouncing around I'll just leave the chicken in the pan too long, and then by the time I get to like I realize like, oh, it's probably overcooked it, and I'll just still throw it in my lunchbox, whatever. And then when I get to work, it's like look forward to a good chicken breast, and then I just start eating it, and I'm like, dang it, I need some like a whole packet of barbecue sauce or something to like make it.
Whole bottle.
Yeah.
Barbecue will save the day.
Dude, 100. I did find out though that instead of like chicken breasts, chicken thighs are a lot more moist and carry more moisture, and so it's easier to cook and not overcook and dry out to where it's terrible. So
That makes sense.
definitely go with chicken thighs, unless
I'm not a huge fan of chicken thighs.
really. Why's
Yeah.
that?
Well, first off, don't most of them have the bone in it?
You can get boneless and skinless, so it's just
What?
they debone it and stuff.
And aren't they dark meat?
Yeah, they're dark meat.
I'm not a. I mean, I'll eat dark meat, chicken. With chicken, I don't know. I guess it tastes the same. Tastes the exact same, I guess. Dark meat looks a little sus.
Yeah, now that I'm thinking about it, I always like say I like white meat chicken better. Like if someone asks me, "Do you want light or dark meat?" I always say white meat or like light meat. But I guess I don't really have a preference.
Yeah, I've definitely ate. And I like steak more than anything.
Mm-hmm.
That's dark as you can get, so.
It's real dark meat.
Yeah.
Sure.
But you can't, man. That's disrespect. You're from Texas, you know it's disrespectful to eat a well done steak.
Oh, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, my brother dated this one girl, and their family cooks steaks. And like we're used to like 2-3 minutes on one side, 2-3 minutes on the other side, and you're done. Like don't touch it. And he let set, let juice, whatever. But they took the steaks out, and like 10-15 minutes had passed, and he's like, "So are they done yet?" They're like, "Yeah, they're almost done." And they brought them back in, and they're basically meat biscuits.
Oh my goodness!
And he's sitting there eating it, and apparently they didn't have like drinks or whatever to begin with, or like to start out with, and he was too embarrassed to get up and try to go find some water because nobody else had anything. And so he's eating this steak, and he's the last one left, just trying to eat this stuff. And then his girlfriend at the time, her mom told her to go get him like a glass of water or something. Can't you see he's struggling here? So even they knew that it was like overcooked steak, and it's like, bro, you're from Texas, like at least cook it right.
For real.
Type of stuff. So
For real.
for turkey though, bro, like white meat turkey, that's where it's at. Like like the dark meat for that one, it's weird. It's not like chicken. It's not.
And see, that's crazy because to me, I'm not a huge fan of turkey, but I prefer dark meat turkey.
Weird.
Yeah,
Oh,
dude.
wow.
I'll eat a turkey leg all day long and a turkey neck all day long.
Really?
All day long. And those are both dark meat, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. A turkey neck's fire. And that's
I've ever had a
disgusting to think about. You're eating a turkey's neck. But it's so good. Fried. I mean, you fry anything, it's good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah.
Dude, there was a restaurant I worked at. You actually worked at it too. I don't remember how many ounces the steak was, but it's a $90 steak, a tomahawk steak.
40
and
ounce.
40 ounces?
40 ounce.
Yeah,
Tomahawk.
and it normally takes a while to cook. Like, it's a whole ordeal. If someone orders a tomahawk, it's like, okay, the manager comes to the back of the house and, like, make sure it's prepared right and everything. We were getting kind of close to close. Maybe, like, I think we were, like, 2 hours from close, actually. Someone wanted it well done. They wanted this giant, fancy tomahawk steak well done, and it already takes a long time to cook because it's a huge steak. And they waited for seriously, it must have been, like, an hour and a half.
Jeez.
Yeah, that they waited for this steak to be, they had like put it in the oven and stuff to like get it well done, and I'm just like,
Just crank it up to 500.
yeah.
Put it on high broil.
I'm like,
That's
man, you
crazy.
just wasted $90.
Dude, we went to a company dinner and with the company I work for now, and we all went to this really nice steakhouse, Jimmy P's, charred by Jimmy P's, and they have a tomahawk steakhouse there as well, and all their steaks there are Wagyu beef, so it's like real good stuff. And one of the office staff members got a tomahawk, and they ran out of tomahawks on our table. Like halfway through ordering, they're like, "We're out of tomahawks," and like he was the last one to get a tomahawk, and like CEOs hadn't even ordered yet. And I was like, ew. But hey, so this guy gets his tomahawk, and I forget. I think it. Yeah, whatever. He orders it like medium, and it comes back well done, and he's like complaining about it, and they're like, well, like there's nothing we can do about it. And he's like, well, make me a new one. And they're like, we're out of tomahawks. And he's like making a huge deal. And I'm like, bro, chill out. Like, the dinner's free for us regardless. You got the most expensive steak. Cut out everybody else. And then complained about it. I was like laughing so hard. Because I was sitting like, I was here. It was like probably 15 people around the table. I was here and he was like, one person was here and he was right here, and I heard him complaining the whole time as soon as he got dropped off. Like, it's called charred by Jimmy P's. You know how like a good steak has like that, it's got like some char on it, you know what I mean, and it's like fire, you know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%. And
so he gets it and he's like, why are there like all this black on it? And I'm thinking, bro, charred's in the name of the restaurant. Just eat it. Trust me. And like that was my favorite part. It was the best steak I ever had. But he said that, and I'm thinking, dude. And then that was just escalated, and I just watch it escalate, and I'm just laughing so hard.
I can't even eat this.
I'm trying so hard to contain my composure, not like look like a fool, but I'm dying. I'm dying. Me and this other kid are dying because we're watching it take place, because we both kind of cringed when like I hadn't ordered yet. He didn't order a tomahawk because he knew like both owners were sitting past me, so they had said right when we sat down we're limited on tomahawks. So whoever really wants one, maybe get one. And this office staff member, been working with us the shortest amount of time, gets one. I'm like, that looks ugly. And then made the whole 9 yards about it. It's like, jeez.
I'm never comfortable doing that either. Like if it's a company dinner that they're covering, or like your family member that's covering dinner, you don't order the like most expensive thing, even if they insist. Like even if they insist, like get whatever you want, I still don't want to be like, all right, give me the money. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Have you ever been to Texas de Brazil?
No.
So have you ever been to any sort of Brazilian steakhouse?
No, but there was one where I used to live, where like you'd pay like a flat fee of like $50, and then they'd like have a 5-course meal.
Yeah.
Brought out to you, and you're like, I don't know. Apparently it was like a whole experience, but I never got to go to it. They closed down though. So.
It's great. They have one in Coconut here. I never been to that one, but I went to Texas de Brazil in Orlando with this same company. It was great, dude. It was that exact thing, $50, and you have full access to like salad bar. You have like sides that come out, like choice of like 4 or 6 sides, that like family style sides that just come out in like plates that you share on the table. I think. I don't know how sides appeared on the table. I didn't pay for the thing, but yeah, like you get a plate, right, and then you get a card, and it's green or red, and for as long as the card's green, servers will just come with meat, and there's like there's probably like 12 different meat options that they bring to your table, all like super good stuff, and they just slice it. They ask you what temperature. They got it on a big skewer, and they've got like, you know, rare, medium, you know, all the way up, well done at the top, whatever. And it's like, it's super cool. They've got steak, chicken, all this good stuff.
Wait, what's the red and green card thing?
So as long as you get a card, and as long as it's green, they'll keep coming, being like more. And when you're done eating, you just flip the card red, and it'll stop coming.
Almost like a buffet type thing? Like you pay a fee, and you're just there, just eating as much as you want?
And the salad bar there, at least at Texas de Brazil, I want to go to the one in Coconut. We should all go.
That'd be sick.
100%.
Yeah. But Texas de Brazil, their salad bar was like intense. Like Nick told me to, like, my manager, he told me to like stay away from it because he's like, it's deadly, because they want you to fill up on the salad bar, so they don't give you like all the expensive meat. But so I didn't even get anything. I was like, don't even give me a salad plate.
Don't give me a piece of lettuce.
Yeah, all I had there was meat, for real.
Oh Jesus.
Yeah, it was actually intense. I don't recommend that. But yeah, looking back, I wish I would have really had the plantains that were sitting right in front of me. Love plantains. But yeah, the sides looked fire. They were just too far out of reach. And again, I'm that guy where I'm like, I'm not even gonna ask for the sides that are on the table already. I'm like, I'll eat all meat. That's how much I don't even want to speak out of turn. All I'll eat is meat, nice water. Yeah, but I kept my card green for a while. Everybody else was backing out. They're like turning the card red. I was like, they're like, you done? Is the card red? That's what I thought.
Oh man.
Is the card red?
I ain't tapping yet. No.
Yeah. And then they'd come over with chicken. Dude, I don't want yard bird. I get chicken. I've got chickens. I get chicken at McDonald's. Give me that filet mignon bacon wrap, dude. For real. I don't want chicken. Bring over a yard bird. It's insane.
Oh, man.
Insane.
I love steak too, but I actually prefer chicken.
Yard bird. That should be your gamer tag from here
Yard
on out,
bird.
dude.
Bro.
Yard bird.
No, actually, my brother's gamer tag is your boy Robo Chicken.
Hey,
I should ask him to change it
fine.
to your boy Yard Bird.
Yard bird.
Bro.
Yard bird. I love it.
Dude, that's sick.
How was your day today, though, dude?
It was good. Today's Saturday. Yes, Saturday. It was lazy. Basically ran errands with Daphne. Grocery shopped. That's it. Picked up a surfboard.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, that's it. I ran home right before I came here, which is probably because of why I was late. But I had to check on their my sister and brother's cats, or sister and brother-in-law's cats, because that's where I was staying. And then took a shower, changed, and I came here. But the only thing I had eaten today was like 2 RX bars, which you buy at gas station, whatever. And I had that at like 11 this morning. And so I was like, I started coming here. I was like, I'm gonna show up to these guys' place, potentially move in here, and I'm gonna be hangry. And they're like, you know what? We changed our minds. We don't like you when you're hangry. I'm like, I'm gonna pick up some Chick-fil-A because it's on the way. And so I picked up some Chick-fil-A, and it was, bro, like as soon as I ate a French fry, I was like, okay, it's a great day. It's a great day. So I inhaled the French fries and then came here. So and then was mauled by an amazing dog. So
He does that.
Yeah.
He used to be the intern, but he's been fired. I'm just kidding.
Slacking on paperwork.
Yeah, camera angles are messing up.
He just
What
won't
kind
hit
of RX
record.
bars did you have?
The dark chocolate, the dark chocolate and sea salt.
How do you like those?
I love them. I used to
Really?
not like them, but now like the if I get the bars with like extra salt on them, I'm like, oh, it's so good.
Because I've got a weird relationship with them. Because it's like I think I got lemon one. I've never tried RX bars, but I've liked the whole like protein meal bar type like thing just for the convenience. But they all have so much sugar in them. So I saw at this grocery store I used to shop at, they had RX bars for like huge discount, and it was like a big box of lemon ones. And I was like, I've never tried RX bars. They only have like 5 ingredients in them or something. Seems super healthy for you. Let me try it.
Yeah.
And they were fine. I liked the lemon ones, but they just didn't really have like a whole lot of flavor. But again, I was like, they're really good for me, so I don't really care. It'll just be like a little pick me up. But then I got the dark chocolate sea salt ones, and it's like I don't know if I'm just not like if I need a different flavor or something, but I don't like them.
Really?
I don't like them.
Is it like? Do you just not like dark chocolate or? Like,
No, that's
dates or
the
anything?
weird thing, because I love dark chocolate, and I usually like dark chocolate sea salt or like sea salt caramel, any of that stuff. I love it, but I don't know what it is. There was a few times I had it that it had like kind of melted in my bag while I was skating. So when I opened it, it was just like all gooey and stuff, and I kind of had to like very carefully eat it, and maybe that just like turned me off to.
Yeah, I do find that when they're like they're like super warm and everything's melting, it does taste different. Cause I don't know if it's like changes the flavor of the dates or anything, but I don't know. I like to eat it like where it's like just below like room temp almost, to where the chocolate has melted and it's like it's still like solid and intact almost.
That must be where I went wrong, because I would keep them in my like skate bag, and so oftentimes they were either like currently melted or had been melted at one point.
Oh man. Yeah, but no, those are like always my go-to now. Just like they're super expensive, but like they're amazing. I don't know, they're my go-to even on like road trips and stuff.
Yeah, they got to be a solid pick me up.
Yeah.
I like Cliff Bars too. Cliff Bars have a little more sugar, but I love Cliff Bars.
Yeah, I used to do Cliff Bars, but like I don't know if there's a sugar in them or what, but it's just like I can't eat a ton of it because it's like I feel like I just like inhaled like
A dessert.
a dessert.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
like shaking and stuff.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh.
There's
But-
certain flavors that I can't do just because it's like, same with those one. I don't remember the name of them, but it's like two brothers. They're the cookies. They're like vegan
Lenny
cookies.
and Larry?
Yeah.
Lenny and Larry. Yeah,
I think.
those two. Were like those. I love them, but after I eat them, sometimes I'm just like, bro, that was like, that's almost like. I don't want to get them as like a nutritious treat. I want to get them as like a dessert, like a semi-healthy
Yeah.
dessert, because they've got to be
Yeah.
sugary. Because there's
You
like
ever-
that birthday cake flavor.
Yeah. You ever had Green Bites?
No.
They're really good. They're like,
Oh.
they're a company. I mean, they're worldwide now, but the guy lives around here.
Right down the
And,
road. He
yeah,
lived in San Carlos Park.
Yeah, we've had him on the podcast. He's like, he's a homie of ours, and they're like plant-based desserts, so they're all vegan.
Okay.
He sells them at my gym. Like he's all over gyms and everywhere. He's killing it. But he's got like protein packed ones that have like really good macros, good calories and stuff like that, proteins and stuff like that. They're so good too. The one that he sells at my gym, I get it pretty often at the gym. It's like a s'mores one, and it's got like a little scoop of like marshmallows on top with like a little chocolate drizzle. But it's like almost like this banana bread looking thing. but it tastes amazing. And he's got a banana bread one too, the banana bread green bite.
Fire. The
Smash.
first one I ever had at Kava Culture vending, and my current favorite still is there's like a fruity pebble one,
Fire.
a fruity pebble
Fire.
cookie. It's so good,
Yeah.
and they're so cheap. I remember at the event, sometimes like buying food from food vendors at events is like you kind of like gotta really decide because it's kind of expensive most of the time. But it was like I don't remember how much it was per cookie, but it was a
Where it
thing.
was
Where
like
you could,
$1.25.
was it?
I'm like, give me 12.
Yeah,
You know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah,
For real.
Yeah, because I think it was like that where I had like a 5, and I was just like, bro, give me a few of them because they're like not too small. They're like decent size.
Yeah.
Solid. Shout out Green Bites.
Yeah, shout out Green Bites. They're amazing.
Dude, I gotta try them now.
They're great.
Really good.
They're
They
great.
do delivery too.
What?
They do local delivery. So if like we ordered them, we could literally probably place an order right now. Well, I don't know if they deliver it now.
They
but-
wouldn't. They would deliver it tomorrow.
Yeah, but yeah, they do delivery. It's pretty sick.
Yeah.
Oh, dang. That's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, it's cool. It's real cool. They sell them at like coffee shops and stuff around here. You'll see them.
Okay.
You'll probably see them.
But
And funny enough, at gas stations, like whenever you're, so
Really?
I know, yeah. Well, no, not the product at gas
stickers,
stations.
yeah,
the
the
stickers.
stickers.
Yeah, I've
They're
noticed at gas
everywhere.
pumps. Whoever works with them, who like just carries stickers on them, likes
That
branding. 'cause
delivery
they just-
driver, bro.
Smart
They
though,
tagging it up.
because what else do you do when you're pumping gas? You just look around,
around.
and you look around, and you're like, hey, what's that fancy pink sticker that says Green Bites Go or whatever?
Yep.
I may have seen one of those.
Maybe now you probably
You'll
will.
see 'em,
Now,
yeah.
now that we mentioned it, you probably will.
I won't ever not see it now.
Exactly. Every
Oh,
gas
jeez.
station. You're like, wow. That's there.
You seem like an adventure kind of guy, going on adventures and stuff.
Yes, 100%. That's like I want to grind for like the next 5, 7, hopefully not 10 years, and then just like absolute like just go travel the world, adventuring, climbing mountains, doing
Yes.
stuff.
Heck yeah.
Like, so where I used to live in Texas, it's just like flat. Like you could watch your dog run away for 3 days. Type of flat.
Still going.
He's still going. Wow, look at him. He hasn't stopped for food or anything. He's still
Dot
going.
just keeps getting smaller and smaller.
For real. So there wasn't a lot to do there. Like if I wanted to go like hiking or anything, I'd have to drive like 2 hours away, which in the grand scheme of things, it's not a lot. But still, to drive that far and hike for all day and drive back,
Yeah.
it's just like, it's not great. But spring break before or during COVID actually, so Texas, like, it just, COVID wasn't a thing there. And so personally, me and my friends would always like go out and do stuff. Like there wasn't a day that we didn't hang out. And so we went, originally we were going to go up to Palo Duro, and we got there, we left at like 6 in the morning from one of my friend's house, and then we go all the way up there just to find out that it's closed because everybody was going there. And like people were like, nah, COVID's not real, let's all go here. And so like I was pissed because I like when I plan stuff out, it has to work. If not, it's terrible. And they're like, oh, let's just go back. I'm like, no, I didn't wake up at 5 a.m. drag all of y'all here just to do nothing or just to go play in the city. And so I like looked up on my phone and found this other place called Canyon, which is on our way back home, but like also an hour east almost of like the main path. And so we get there, and honestly I liked it better than Palo Duro, just because you could do a lot of off-trail hiking. And so basically it's just the only place to hike there are canyons. And so we hike around and basically hiked all the way around this canyon wall where it's like caliche dirt, where it's like it looks like rock, but honestly if you like dig at it too much, it's just going to crumble. And so like we're trying to walk on walls with this stuff.
What?
And, dude, like this girl that was in front of me, she's like, come on, let's go. I'm like, listen, I'm 100 pounds heavier than you and can't, like, if I move too quickly or put my weight in the wrong spot, I'm going down, and it's like 25 feet below or whatever. Like, I'm gonna hurt myself.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, come on. I'm like, give me a minute. Come on, I'm shaking here. But eventually it was just me and her that made it all the way to the top of the canyon. So we drove all the way down into it, and eventually like walked around this caliche wall, and then climbed all the way to the top. At one point we basically rock climbed to where we climbed 10 or so feet, which isn't much, But when you have this steep, like 60-degree incline right there, and you're like, if I fall, I'm not going to stop rolling until I hit the bottom, and it's just not going to be fun. It's going to ruin my day, honestly, after it's already been ruined because the other place was closed. But we eventually made it to the very top, and it's super sick to get to do that. But that's, I don't know, that's stuff that I just love to do. So honestly, like, I'd love to live in Colorado, but it's just not the best for business or just taxes and stuff like that. So it's like, I guess my friend and I's plan is just to be like super rich and have houses everywhere, and just to go live at our house and then go adventuring, doing stuff like that. So, but yeah, pretty much adventure is what I love to do.
Heck yeah.
So, yeah. There was a summer camp that I went on. It called Noah's Ark. It's a church camp, of course. And they take us whitewater rafting, rock climbing or rappelling, and then like hiking up like a 14er. And so like I think the only mountains that I've ever hiked are 14ers, and people are like, oh, I hiked my first 14er. I'm like, that's not a regular.
What's a 14er?
14,000 feet.
Oh.
Like above sea level, and so like you'd start at like 7,000 or whatever, and hike all the way up.
Whoa, that's like way more than what I've done.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's crazy. And so like me and my best friend, when we first went on this, we're like, people are going to, oh, y'all gonna lose your breath, it's gonna be terrible, you're not gonna last. Basically, I'm like, okay, bet. We ended up running up the entire mountain, racing each other, and the guys were literally telling us, yo, slow down, you're going to get hurt, you're going to run out of breath. And we're like, so we'd run ahead and then wait for everybody and run ahead again. And like by the end of it, we're like, they're like, yeah, that was our hardest hike. And we're like, okay, so we basically ran the entire thing, and you're all saying like most people can't last this one. And we're like, so it for us it was super fun just because we were like competitive and stuff and racing each other to the next spot.
Mm-hmm.
But I think by far like mountain rock climbing is some of my favorite. Like if there's like attachments at the top so that you don't have to free climb or anything, or like use the cinchers or whatever. At that same camp, I raced my youth pastor, who was like, he did Tough Mudders and Ironmans and like all this stuff, and I think he plays pretty well, but he's like this super fit dude, where like this one kid who is also like just jacked, he's like, I want to challenge you to a push-up contest, and he's like, nah, that'd never end. And he's like, we're doing one-arm push-ups. He's that type of guy, and so I'm like, okay. So I challenged him to a rock climbing contest. It was up like this 40-foot wall. It was the easy one, and we both, our times were like at a minute trying to get all the way up, and he was like, okay, now I'm gonna really try. And he got to like 30 seconds. I was like, okay, I'm gonna really try. And I got to like 30 seconds, and we went up so much that like, has y'all's forearms ever cramped?
I don't think my forearms have ever cramped.
Okay, bro, so when that happens, like, you'll see like your forearm twitching, of course, but what'll happen is it'll bring your thumb in and your hands just like this, and like, bro, it's the weirdest feeling, and it hurts so bad because your fingers are doing things that you're not telling them to, and it's like,
I had a teacher that referenced that. They said they've seen people doing exams, and they're like, oh, watch out, you'll get the claw, and he calls it the claw because they'll get the cramps in their handles.
Bro, exactly, like my hand was like this, and like my thumb was like, if you've ever seen like a double jointed thumb, they'll like stick it out and do all this weird stuff with it. I'm like, that's gross. But like my thumb was like almost doing that. Like if it was double jointed, it'd probably just fall off. But like I had to have my friend like massage it out, and then like he went up, my youth pastor went up, and he got like 14.7 seconds up this 40-foot wall.
Wow.
And I was like, okay, fine. And so I went up it, and like I like this was like my last one. I couldn't do anymore because of how bad my forearms were cramping. I got up it in 15.4 seconds, and I was like it just hurt, but also like it was so much fun because at the time I was like a freshman in high school, and all these seniors were there. It's like you're always trying to like I don't know, live up to them.
Yeah.
And like I had them come up to me like, bro, that was amazing. Like you're almost like a freak. I'm like, Sweet.
That's gotta feel so
Okay.
good.
Dude, it was some of the best feeling.
It's good to have those people push you too. Have that person you're looking at to like, we're gonna do 1 arm push-ups. Oh, I'm gonna do it in 30 seconds to show you like, well, I can do it too. Let me try.
Yeah, dude, 100%. Still can't do a 1 arm push up, but I can still rock climb. Yeah, dude, one of my favorite things ever. So.
Do you
Heck
go on
yeah.
camping trips?
Yes. So my family, we used to live on a ranch and stuff. We'd always rent a house on this ranch, just because we didn't have any other place to stay. And there's one place, it had like 3 ponds on it.
Dang.
And just because it's Texas, every ranch has a ton of acreage, and so there's 3 ponds on this one property, and 2 of them were like right next to each other, where basically the owner of the place built like a dam almost. So we called it like the twin ponds or twin lakes or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And so is super woody in this specific area, and so we go camping there. So that's pretty much, well, I went camping there, and also in Texas, or in Lubbock. We went to one of my friends' ranches, just because either you don't own a ranch, or you own a ranch and you're a farmhand. It's pretty much the consistent, like what you did growing up. And so we went to his grandpa's ranch, and we camped by the lake or whatever. But it was kind of like set up on top to where the wind would come over and like blow really hard if the wind was blowing. And so like we spent our days like doing a UTV tag, to where his tag. And so we'd chase each other in these UTVs, driving through massive mud puddles and all this stuff. There's that one point where we went through this one, and one of my friends was like sticking his head out the side of this UTV, while my other friend was climbing around the other side trying to wipe the mud off the windshield because we just couldn't see. And he's like, I can't see. And dude, like some of my best memories, just chasing each other with these UTVs. But with that camping trip, we went to bed. The wind picked up a ton that night. Some of the guys went and slept in their trucks because apparently, they can't handle it. And of course they're farmhands and stuff, so I don't know. I guess they get a bit sensitive. So we wake up that morning. We go up to like the cabin area, and we cook breakfast, eggs, bacon, sausage, whatever. And we're like, all right, we gotta go back and take the tents down and all this stuff. We get there, and the wind had picked up so much that there was only 2 tents left.
Oh no.
The other like pavilions and tents were in the lake.
What?
And it had blown them all in there, and the only tents that survived was my tent and another guy's tent who wasn't a farmhand. He was just like played video games all the time, or just like skateboarded, rode his bike, that stuff. And so it was hilarious to see all these rednecks tents in the lake, and we're just like, kind of like hipsters almost, and not really they didn't see us as being outdoorsy at all, and our tent stayed in place. And we're like, sucks to suck, bro.
I need bigger tent stakes,
dude, for real. But yeah, I've like, when I go home now, I always sleep in my tent outside. So it's just that type of for me, it's just like, that's what I want to do. So
heck yeah.
What I would love to do though is go to like a rainforest and do like hammock camping.
Yes, that'd be so cool.
Like those ones that actually like flatten out instead of you're like in a banana the entire time.
Mm-hmm.
But like actually flatten out. I want to get one of those and go out to the like Peruvian rainforest or whatever. Take my best friend, go camping or something.
Heck yeah.
Most likely get eaten by like a python, anaconda thing or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But, dude,
I can't even imagine the things you'd see out there.
Oh, I know.
That'd be so good. That'd be such an adventure, dude.
mhm.
Yeah.
I've always wanted to do camping trips where you like, there's like traveling involved that isn't in a car or something. Like Peace River north of here is one thing I've wanted to do, because you can like set up camp. It's not like a place where you'd like reserve a campsite and then drive to the campsite and park and drop off your things and be there for however many nights you reserved. It'd be like you go to this like national park or whatever, or I don't know what Peace River is considered, but you'd go there and like park your car, and then you would travel. You'd like find a camping spot, and then like you could canoe up the river, and then like there'd be spots with like fire pits, and that's where you could like be like, authorized to camp or whatever.
I think it's called like free camping.
Yeah.
Free tent, whatever. Dude, that has been my dream to do, of just go out to this national park and hike around forever and then camp.
Yes. Then hike back. Because like, and when I was a kid, it's weird because when we were kids, we never went camping as kids, right?
Nope.
And like, as I was getting into like high school and college and stuff like that, I was getting, I don't remember when my first camping trip was, but it was actually with Kyle, and it was like later in my life, but long before that, I was into camping, and I like had a camping bag and stuff like that, because it's like, I don't know, it's just always something I wanted to do, and I would always try to look for like gear and stuff that was super lightweight and that you could just fit in a backpack and almost have everything you need. There's some like fascination I have with having everything you need just like in a backpack. So I've always wanted to just have all your gear, have like everything just in a pack that's light enough to like go hike and like travel, and you could go like have everything you need and just go set up camp, just pack up your bag the next morning and then like load back up and go, adventure. It's just, there's like not that, the camping places I've been to around here aren't really that kind of setup where it's more so like, there's your spot, like just stay there for the night, and
Yeah. But Peace River, is it?
Yeah.
That's like that?
Yeah, I think Peace River is one where you can free camp, and you can actually like canoe up river and like find places to camp, which the closest thing I've had,
the trails.
Yeah, the closest thing I've had to that sort of adventure was I went camping on an island, Cayo Costa Island, which, dude, me and December have been wanting to do it again. She didn't go, but I've been wanting to do it again with like a different group of people, because I think, I don't think Kyle went last time, but our friend Jake went, and I had a couple friends from high school go, but it was so cool. And back then we weren't like adults. I think we were all in high school still, so we didn't have a lot of expendable income. But I remember you drive to I don't remember where exactly it is, like off the coast or whatever, but you go to like Sanibel or something like that, and you park, and that's where the ferry picks you up. And so you have to reserve a campsite at Cayo Costa, which is cheap, like $15-$20, like campsites are, and then the ferry ride ticket was like $60. So that was like all the high school friends who wanted to be involved in this trip were like, trying to find that money. Like, how can I just get enough for the ticket for the ferry? Nowadays, it's like really not that much. Like, as an adult, it's really not that much. But you drive, you get picked up by a ferry at a certain time, so you have to bring your gear with you. You have to have that, like, all on your back kind of, like, setup. And so I was hyped. I was like, yes, I got my backpack. I got my, like, sleeping bag or whatever I needed. And you just hop on the ferry, and it's, like, a really beautiful ferry ride out to the island. And it's probably, like, an hour and a half or something ferry ride where you're just chilling, just looking at the water, like seeing dolphins, just talking with your friends, and then you get dropped off at the docks, and then it's like probably like 11 by the time you get there, or whatever it was, and then it's just so cool. It felt like an adventure because you get off on the dock and you're just like, man, this is an island, and then you like, it's a pretty huge island, but the crew who gets off the ferry, there's like public bathrooms, and then you walk into the island to go find the campsites, and then right by the campsites, just like a little bit of a walk, there's hiking trails, there's all sorts of stuff, and then there's the beach. So you could like, it was so cool because our campsite was just 5 minutes from the beach, so we could just set up tent and then just like go chill on the beach. And then like we went and walked up and down the beach at night, and like just found cool things like little shells and stuff like that. And then at I think we stayed there all weekend, and then Sunday morning, the ferry picked up at a certain time, so we had to make sure we were all packed up and had everything in our bags and back to the dock at that time so we could get back on the ferry. And like that's the closest thing I've had to that sort of free camping adventure, even though it wasn't necessarily like that. It was just so fun.
Bro, like me and Daphne have been trying to like get people to go. Like we should definitely like do something like that. So.
Yeah, 100%. And I love it too because Gohan loves camping. And I don't know if he'd work with the island thing, but we took him to the place I told you about earlier, Okaloochee Slough, is a place pretty nearby. I think it's like a 40-minute drive or something, but it's a lot cooler than some other campsites around here because you do have to like drive way out in the middle of nowhere, and like there's one campsite we like to get to because it's way in the back of all the campsites, and it's like there's only it's first come first serve, and it's just this huge site that has its own water pump. So like my whole group of friends from high school would like it better because it could fit all of our tents instead of having to have like two sites side by side.
Yeah.
And it's just convenient having the water pump because then if you're there all weekend, you can use it for like washing off your gear. You can use it for like getting water to drink. You can. It was sick. I like that place a lot.
That's good.
I think one of the my favorite camping trips ever was when I went to Red River, Colorado, and tent camped there. And it's like you'd wake up in the morning and it'd be like frost everywhere. Like you're in your tent, but there's like frost on your sleeping bag, and you're like, this is life. Like nothing beat it. And like you're fairly close to the road, but like at night, like you don't really drive at night just because there's deer or whatever that like to play Red Rover. But like in the day, like you could either go hiking up the mountains. That's where I went mountain horseback riding. Bro, my horse had attitude, bro. His stomach had attitude, and he was like, I'm gonna go eat. I'm like, no, bro, let's keep going. And eventually, like, I'd be tugging on him, but all he did was just like sprint down the mountain to this patch of grass, and he's just eating. I'm like, I'm tugging at him, and he's just not having it. And people are passing me. I'm like, he's not listening to me. And they're like, yeah, he does that. I'm like, why? Like, come on. And like, I think we all sat there for 15 minutes while he ate. And then he's like, okay, I'm done. I'm like, bro. And so that was one of my favorite moments. But then you could go like in the town and go eat at these mountain restaurants and all this stuff. And it's just like,
that's cool,
bro. It's so awesome. It's one of my favorite places.
That sounds sick.
That's awesome.
You said that was in Colorado?
Yeah, it's southern Colorado, pretty close to New Mexico. So
Man,
I think it's like a
awesome.
6-hour drive from Lubbock, Texas. So
Nice.
Man,
yeah.
that's so cool, dude. It takes 6 hours just to get out of Florida in a car.
Yeah.
No, from one side of Texas to the other. Well, from Lubbock basically to the the Texas Louisiana border. It's like 8 to 10 hours.
Wow.
And it's like it's the entire trip is Texas and then Louisiana, Alabama, Georgia, and then you're like, okay, I'm gonna get into Florida. So it's like a 14-hour drive from Lubbock to Pensacola. And so like the majority of it is Texas, and then the next day is like 8 hours of Florida from Pensacola down to Naples. So it's terrible driving that in a car with no AC too.
Oh Lord.
Is that what you drove up most recent time, or did you fly when you just went?
When I went back, like pretty much I only fly now.
Okay.
Just because I don't. Well, my car might make it, but like it's a bit sketchy right now.
Rather fly.
Yeah.
I feel you.
And so like it's a car out there actually.
Mm-hmm.
Like right now I have it bungee cord on the inside of the trunk to keep the trunk down. So if I hit a speed bump too much, it'll like throw it up, and like the bungee cord will like throw it back down. And so like for a while I wasn't too loud until I put that on there, and it's just like 10 times louder. It's like it actually recently just hit a 250,000 miles.
Nice.
I was like, yes.
Nice.
But
That's a good milestone.
dude, absolutely. I don't know how much longer it's gonna last, but I kind of want to see how if I could even get it to 1 million.
Is it a Toyota?
Yep, Toyota Corolla.
You might
manual.
make it. Manual?
Yeah.
5-speed?
Yeah.
Nice.
What?
Dude.
That's
nice.
sick.
Yeah, you might make it. You might make it.
No.
I don't know, man. My Camry, I have a Camry that I use for work.
How many miles is
that's
that?
at like 197,000.
Oh jeez.
Butter, dude. She's just getting broken in.
What was the S10 at? Wasn't that past 200?
Dude, I sold the S10 to my best friend. It had 4,000 miles, and I told him when I sold it to him, hey, change the oil right away. It needs an oil change bad. It needed oil change bad when I sold it to him. It was like over 5,000 miles, and he didn't change it. And then we hang out like a couple months later, and he's like, yeah, I was driving the car and it just like stopped running. And I was like, did you change the oil? He's like, no. He's like, that was the thing. He's like, my dad came, it was completely out of oil. I was like, wow. He's like, we just added more oil. I was like, did you change it? He's like, no, we just added more oil. And kept driving. And he drove that up until like he just got the car that he's driving now, probably like a couple years ago. And I sold him that.
He drove the heck out of that truck too, so
He
it
drove the
must
heck
have
out of
broke.
it.
Broke 300.
Broke 300.
Jeez.
Yeah, and Toyotas are more reliable than Chevys.
Dude, 100%.
Yeah, so I mean, really, your car could last. And being a manual gives you better spirits because, I mean,
Absolutely.
an automatic transmission, you got way more that can go wrong.
Absolutely. Okay, but so it does have an oil leak. And so the last time I tried to take it in to get an oil change, they're like, yeah, it do no good changing the oil. I was like, he's like, no, you need to get that fixed. I was like, okay. So I took it into place, and like I just had my brakes completely redone just because in Texas I ran over a tire in the middle of the night, and it like popped the corroded lines up, and like by the time I got where I was going, which was like 30 minutes away, I had no brakes. Like it drained it that much, and so like I had it completely redone, new brake pads, new like cylinder for it, piston. Let's see. And then like new brake pads, new brake drums, all this stuff. And I took it to this place here out in Bonita, and they're like, "Yeah, you've got a brake leak." I'm like, "No, I don't." And they're like, "No, you're gonna lose your brake fluid." I'm like, "No, I'm not." And he's like, "No, dude, like it's leaking bad. You're gonna lose it in a week." I'm like, "Bro, I just had this redone. It's not leaking." And he's like, "All right." I was like, "Just fix the oil leak." And he's like, "There's also the serpentine belt needs to eat. You need a new one." I was like, "Okay." It was like $15 for that. And I was like, "Okay, whatever. Put it on, whatever." So he did that, and didn't fix the leak. Serpentine belt sounded weird for a while, and then I think I got it broken in or whatever, and it's fine. But never took it back for an oil change. I kind of want to have y'all guess how many miles over the recommended mileage that I should have gotten.
How much over? How much over, or how long? How many miles it's been since your last oil change?
How many miles over the recommended mileage for the next change? So like I got changed, went past the mileage that they're like, "Yo, you should get it changed at this mileage." How many miles I've gone over?
Oh, okay. I'm gonna say 3,000 miles.
5,000 miles?
25,000.
Oh my god!
You haven't changed it?
No, just been putting it in.
Nice, dude.
I do think it needs to be changed though.
I would think so too.
I would guess.
Well, like it like every month I gotta add like 2 to 3 quarts. Well, I've gotten to the point I figured out that my oil light works to where if I run out of oil, it'll turn on. It works. So every time it turns on, I'll add like 3 quarts. I'm like, okay.
There you go. She's thirsty.
Wait, so they wouldn't do the oil change until the oil leak was fixed?
Yeah.
So what is it? Couldn't you still change the oil even if there's an oil leak? Wouldn't you still?
Yeah.
Depends where it's leaking, I guess. But I mean, yeah, pretty much.
Why wouldn't they change it?
I don't know. Like I took it in, they're like, nah. I was like, it also has a transmission leak. They're like, okay. And I took it into that mechanic, and I said, yo, it's got an oil leak, a transmission leak. I know what's wrong with it. Just fix that.
And they're like, no, you got a brake leak.
They're like, no, you got a brake leak and a small oil leak. And I was
you also have a gas leak.
Bro, for real though, honestly, I think I might.
Really?
I think I might, but also like I probably should stop driving it like a race car. this 2000 Toyota Corolla with no. Like,
need some oil.
for real, bro. Like honestly, my favorite thing is making the tires like burn out. But I don't want to push it that much because every time I try to accelerate too fast, it'll like start it starts sounding weird to almost like the fuel injectors aren't great on it or spark plugs are going bad or something. So I think I need to check that out, and I think like I've had the entire clutch system redone on it. That was like 4 years ago, but since there's a transmission leak, I guess when they replaced stuff, they didn't put new stuff in it, like a new gasket or whatever. And so, like, I put transmission fluid in it once, but it leaked out within a week, so I just don't put transmission fluid in it.
True.
So third gear and fourth gear will not always slip, but it'll slip sometimes where I'll just throw it out. Third gear, it's a little bit more graceful. Fourth gear, it's like, no, whoosh, And so like,
Yeah.
the car will jerk and stuff, and it's like, this is kind of scary. But it's kind of sketchy. But I make do most of the time. I put
third to fifth.
No, I go second. I go from second to third. But before I re-engage the clutch, I'll shake it a little bit to make sure it's in gear, and I'll let go and re-accelerate, and it should be fine. And I do the same thing with fourth. Fourth is still more temperamental, and it's still throw it out. So I think I need new clutch stuff or something like that.
True.
Um,
You ever just go from 3 to 5?
no,
Skip 4?
no,
No?
no.
You could.
Is it bad to do that?
You could, if you're going fast enough. I mean, you would just rip third, and then throw it into fifth.
Yeah, because I think I did that the other day, and I wondered. I was like, is it bad to like? Because if you're going fast enough to be in fifth, and I'm currently in third, could you just switch it to fifth and it's fine?
Yeah, like I could, because for a while I had to start changing it higher, so it doesn't have an RPM. Meter.
You don't have a tachometer?
No.
What?
No, so
It's all sound.
It's all sound,
it's
baby.
all sound. And so I'll just listen for it. And so I could probably get second gear up to 50 if I wanted to, but that's a lot. Typically I like shifting it at 30 for 35. But third, I could probably get it to fifth, to where I could go from third to 55, maybe 60, and then switch it. Typically, I'll switch from fourth to fifth at 60, just because that's when it runs the best.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just kind of want to make the car last, but also I kind of want to kill it. So I've taken speed bumps. Well, so you got speed bumps and speed humps. I've taken speed humps at 40 miles an hour, to where it'll launch the trunk up and down. And then also my struts, I think my struts are basically shot to where it's just you feel everything almost.
Yeah.
And so it's just taking the speed humps at 40 miles an hour is for real. Also the alignment's out. AC doesn't work. It's got cruise control, that doesn't work. Pretty much only the engine works.
It runs and drives.
Yeah, that's pretty much
That's
it.
good.
It starts with
What year is it?
without an
It's
issue.
2000.
2000. What is there a check engine light on?
It's got one, but it's not on.
It's not on.
The fasten your seatbelt will blink forever.
Even if you're plugged in?
Yep.
Even if you
Yeah.
Come on now. Come on now, Toyota.
I know, bro. Honestly, the electrical system is probably the worst on it.
Yeah.
I don't have a dash light, so at night I gotta put my phone up there, and it's
So I mean, maybe the check engine light's on or no?
No, because the check engine light, all the system lights work. It's
Okay.
just the to light it up doesn't
Oh,
work.
got you.
So
That's easy fix though. That's a bulb, I think.
maybe I don't know.
Maybe.
When I took it in to get the clutch fixed, I asked them to fix the light and the AC, and they said they had special order stuff for the AC, and it'd be 2 weeks, and I need my car for school and stuff. So I was like, nah, that's fine. I'll just do the 50 mile an hour AC type of deal.
Okay. Yeah.
But I asked them to fix the wiring, and they're like, oh yeah, we can do that, and they never fixed it. And so I was like, okay. So I don't think it's a fuse. It could be wiring, or it could be a short or something. Because when it was going out, I could hit the dash and it'd come back on, or if I let the car run for 30 minutes, or I'd be driving for 30 minutes, it'd randomly turn back on. But now it's just doesn't turn back on at all. So it's a lemon.
Yeah. Yeah.
Does it drive good on the interstate?
Yeah, I get it up to 90.
That's good.
Because I had cars where anytime I drive on the interstate going that fast, it would I would just feel unsafe because it would just be shaky driving that fast.
Yeah, actually,
That's how my Camry is.
if I get up to that speed, it'll actually stop shaking.
Oh,
I feel that. Yeah, my Camry will shake around 60 to 70
Just
and
get it up
stop
to
around
100.
80 to 90.
Yeah, and it's oh, okay, we can handle high speeds.
Yeah.
The fastest I've gotten that car though is 105.
Nice.
wow.
It was
Hitting the govern.
Huh?
Hitting topping it out.
No. It had 110 to go, or 120. But I was driving
Nice.
from Lubbock to Houston, and your speeding buddies, like on the interstates when you're traveling,
Mm-hmm.
and you're like, all right, I'm speeding.
He's with
these
me.
days. He's with me.
Yeah.
If I go down, we both go down.
Pretty much. Well, if he goes down, then I'm slowing down or speeding up.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, exactly.
But there's this group of, like, they're all white, like almost sports cars. And then you got my car in the back. Everybody's doing 105. And we're like swerving in and out of traffic and stuff. And so you got like white sports car, white sports car, white sports car, white sports car. The ugly cousin.
Yeah,
So you
Trying
like
to
a
keep
roll
up. Bro, it was crazy. And like I only have like one hubcap left on it. Like it's running on prayers and sticker power, honestly.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I need to get some more stickers for that thing, just so that it'll keep going.
Keep going.
Yep.
There you go.
Radio works great.
That's good. That's good. Original radio.
Yep. Original speakers. Original. It's original everything except for the things that.
Do you have like a? Do you listen to your phone in there?
I used to, but I think it like the electricity from like the charging, from the charger to my phone. It was basically chain link at that point, to where it's only the metal showing and like wires, and I think it exposed like the wires and like popped to my leg.
Oh my
I felt like a
gosh.
shock and stuff. It like shorted out my Bluetooth thing, and I was like, it's broken now, and I can't listen to music, and now it's just radio.
Dang,
So
man.
now I've got my presets set, and it's
There you go.
okay.
There you go.
So I've got my Astero station and I got my Naples station.
Nice.
So,
Nice.
but so yeah, that's pretty much it with my car.
That's good, man. That's good. How long you been driving it?
Since sophomore year of high school, so
Nice. That's your first car?
6 years. Yeah.
What?
Wow.
Nice, dude.
Yep.
Dude,
Still
that's
driving
awesome.
it,
Man.
So.
Wow. I've had like 6-7 different cars.
Really.
Yeah, I
You've had
started.
so many cars.
Yeah, dude. I started just as soon as I got one. I started just buying and selling and trading because I got blessed in the first situation because, like, we shared a truck.
Mm-hmm.
Like starting out, we shared like an S10, and then I got that because he bought a car, and then I got the S10, which was like perfect Chevy S10, but it had like a lot of miles. It wasn't like reliable really, so I was like looking for something else, and my wife now, who was my girlfriend at the time, her parents found this car for sale for like $800. It was a Hyundai Tiburon, little black coupe, and it was like a decent car, but the paint job was really terrible, like really terrible. And so, but the guy was asking $800. So her parents bought me a car, and
Well, I didn't know they bought you that. Wow.
they bought it for me. Yeah, shout out them. Yeah, that was a blessing, huge blessing, because they bought me that, and that's when I sold my truck to my best friend, and then we painted my car. Like, my girl's stepdad, who bought the car, is like he was like a 20-year auto mechanic. He's like really good with like cars. He taught me like a lot of what I know, and so we sanded this car down and like plastied it, the entire car, and then I did some work to the engine. I put like $1,200 into it, and it was a solid car. Lasted me for a while, and then I traded
Was that manual? It
That was
wasn't,
not
right?
manual.
No.
Nope. And then I traded that for a truck, a Dodge Ram. I put that and $800 down on a truck, like a couple years later, and like it was this nice like Dodge Ram, single cab, black. Love that truck. And then traded that for a Mustang, my first manual car, 5-speed Mustang, because I wanted a manual car. I was like, I need something stick shift.
They're so much fun to drive.
Oh
bro.
yeah. I would never want to drive anything else. Sadly, right now I don't have a manual, but
Soon. One day.
soon. I love my car now, so it is all good. But I had the Mustang, and then I traded the Mustang for this big old Dodge Ram lifted because I loved a manual, but I was like, I want a truck, but I want a stick shift truck. So then I got the Dodge. It was like a Dodge Dakota, actually. It was like this big old truck lifted on like 33s, 4-inch lift, and it had a 5-speed manual.
That
I
thing was
like,
gnarly.
let's go. Yeah, it was the sickest truck.
Wait, so I didn't see your Dodge Ram or your Mustang because those were both while I was in Pennsylvania. Because I saw your Tiburon briefly,
Yeah.
but I don't remember you having a truck after the Tiburon. So I must have not seen that at all,
Really?
and then also not seen the Mustang.
I think I have a picture of my Dodge Ram. Um,
And he had that manual truck till recently. He just recently got rid of it.
yeah, I sold that. I traded that actually for a couple guns and some cash. Yeah, and then I got the Infinity. Which, yeah, I love the Infinity. The one thing, I looked for that Infinity for probably like 2 years. All in that 2 years, I probably found like 2 that were manual.
Dang.
Yeah, and out of the 2, one of them was black.
Ooh.
And I really wanted a black on black one. And it wasn't until like a couple months before I found that one that I found the stick shift one. But it got sold within like a day. And I was like, man. So then that one popped up. And I was like, that was like one of the first black on black. That one is like the XS Premium. So it's like the top of the line one. Where it has like upgraded stuff and the sound system and stuff. Paddle shifters as well. So I was like, it's not manual, but it'll do. It's nice.
Yeah, my brother and I's first truck. My parents had gotten it in, so like I was born in Kansas and stuff. Right, like a year before we moved from there to Texas, they bought this truck from this old guy or whatever. It was a 1982 Ford F100.
Oh, what?
Yeah, so
Those
it's
are
like
sick.
it's this box truck, or square body truck. Sorry.
Okay.
And like for Steven and I, that's the biggest car we've ever seen. And so we were like driving it around, and we hated it. We hated it just because it was just so not fun to drive.
Was it manual?
No, it was
Okay.
automatic. We had the engine rebuilt on it. I think it froze up for a while. But we had the engine rebuilt on it, had the transmission rebuilt on it. Basically, all the insides are working. But we drove that to school for a few years, and people were like, yo, you guys make that truck look small. And we're like, what? No. And so, like my parents still drive it. My dad still, like he got like a 2006, like, F-250.
Nice.
To work, and that went out, and like he would pull his trailer with it, and then he got in the F-100 and was pulling his trailer around with that for construction and stuff. I'm like, Dad, you're gonna kill it. He's like, yeah, it doesn't like the trailer, but it still goes. I'm like, Dad, it's gonna kill it. And so like now whenever I go back, like that's the car that I used to drive around, and
Nice.
it's like, dude, the play in it. So you know, like you'll have a little play in older cars. This car you can go like this, and it's just driving straight. It's like, nah, not until you actually mean it. Then you actually,
Not until you mean it.
And so it's like,
I love
I'm
that.
falling for this. And so
That's hilarious.
it's still like one of the most like reliable cars that we have. It's been
Wow.
through like almost all the other cars, and it still lasted. I'm like,
That's
cool.
sick.
bro, it's crazy. It's a trooper, honestly.
Heck yeah. Yeah, those are good cars. They don't make them like that anymore.
No,
They don't make them like that anymore.
I think Ford went bad at like in the 90s to early 2000s, and then they got a corporate, I think.
Mm-hmm.
So they used to build good cars, not so much. Now it's just Toyota.
Yeah.
Toyota and Honda? No, Toyota and Lexus, because Toyota makes Lexuses.
Yeah.
So I was kind of wanting to buy a Lexus, but like they're expensive.
Yeah, they are.
So
They are.
but,
They are expensive, and yeah, I looked at a couple, and I was like, the ones that were in my price range were just like rather girly and weren't that like didn't seem like that fast for what you would pay,
yeah,
and I was like, I wanted something kind of quicker than like an IS 250.
yeah.
They're really nice, but they're so expensive.
hmm
Yeah, for a nice one.
Yeah, like my sister has a Lexus. It's like a not like a minivan, but like it's like a family car.
Mm-hmm.
It's 4 doors, whatever. And like I drive it, I'm like, yo, that like I'm so comfortable in it, and it has AC. Bro, I don't know. Just driving it, I was like, okay, it's made by Toyota. It's nice. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna look some stuff up. So like the car that I want is like the Lexus RX or whatever, like the best one.
Okay.
Of course, it's like $200,000. I'm like, but it's fast and it's nice.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, that's for the future. So
Yeah. Yep. Heck yeah. Have you ever been do you hunt at all?
no, I have not. So
I've never been hunting either.
like all my friends have. Like I used to like I had like a BB gun and stuff when I was growing up. Like shoot the bunnies away from the apple trees and just like pop them in the little tail and they just scurry off, or shoot birds away with it. There was one time where like it never went in anything like before, and I was just playing around with it, shooting stuff, like scaring the animals away with it, whatever, and like they're eating plants or whatever. My mom was like, "Get them away." I was like, "Okay," but this bird flew over. I was like, "Yeah, I'm not hitting it, but like I'm gonna try," and like didn't even aim, just like looked down, pointed the BB gun up, and it flew over. And I just pulled the trigger on it, and like next thing I know, this bird's like at my feet.
No way.
I shot it through the neck, bro.
Oh my god.
I was like, "I'm so sorry," and then I called my dog over, Misty, because I didn't know what to do. I was like, "I just killed this thing, and I feel so bad."
Misty, help me hide the evidence.
Misty,
You've done this before.
and she came over and
Just
just
dig a hole quick.
no, she ate it.
Oh my god.
Bird, like within 10 minutes it was gone.
She's like, I got you.
I was like, man,
Feathers and all.
quick cleanup. So, but yeah, that's the only time. Like, it was crazy because like I wasn't trying to really.
Yeah.
And, like, shot it to the neck. I was like,
Yeah.
jeez.
Yeah, it feels bad when you injure or kill an animal. We were at a mall. I've never been hunting, but we were at a mall when I was in like middle school, and there was this bird jumping on the ground, and this kid said I couldn't hit it. I was like, bro, I can hit it, and I slipped my slide off, and like tossed it lightly, but it was like a baby bird, and I like zinged my slide at it. Slide zinged it, and the bird just like tumbled and just like laid there, and everyone was like freaking out on me, like, dude, and I'm like, he said it, I couldn't, and so I like just tried, and I did, and yeah, I felt really bad after that.
Dude,
I was like, yeah, that sucked.
oh man.
I actually hit it. Your situation's a little crazier. Just
Yeah, bro. Complete chance. You're like, that was that the bird that I shot. That can't be the same bird.
did someone else shoot at the
Like,
same time?
I'm watching
as
the shadow of it. I'm like, oh, okay. It's like, bro, it's crazy. The worst thing though is like when an animal's like hurt and you're like, there's no coming back from this, and you have to put it down.
Yeah.
We had this stuff around our apple trees when we first planted them, and this little baby bunny got, I think it paralyzed itself, like broke its neck or something, or spine, trying to get in it, and it's just there. And like this is like my heart broke. I just absolutely broke, because like I got the BB gun again. I was like, if you kill the bird, it's gonna kill this thing, no problem. Bunnies are tougher than they look.
Oh no! It took multiple shots.
No shot could get it. And so I put the barrel like at the back, like the softest part behind its head. Like it's like if it would have gone through and it quick, easy is my thought process. And like I pulled the trigger and it just started squealing. And I was like, no. And so I tried it again and again and it didn't work. And I was freaking out at this point. And so I was like, I don't know what to do. So I got the butt of the gun. And it was just after like the trees had been watered and stuff, so it's a little muddy. And so the only thing I could think to do was beat it to death.
Oh my god!
And I felt so bad, bro. Like my heart broke. It was terrible. And eventually it drowned because it's in the mud. I don't even think I was able to kill it. Like, bro,
Oh my
it
goodness.
was the worst thing ever.
I had to do that to a bird one time. There was a bird that died in Mom's backyard, and it was just like sitting there twitching like that, and I just had to take a shovel and just like end it.
Yeah.
It's sad. I
Yeah.
even feel a little bad killing the bufu toads sometimes. You heard of bufu toads?
Man, they'll kill the dogs, bro. Screw
No,
them.
yeah. You'll see them
I'll
around
pump
here. Because
one,
I've got right there by the door, I have a baseball bat and a pellet gun, because there's these frogs or toads that are around like this area, and they're huge and they're like kind of freaky just because they're like seriously like real big.
Jeez.
And they're just freaky to look at, to see them like hop across the driveway and stuff. But they're also really dangerous to animals because like if Gohan were to like pick one up with its mouth or like try to eat it or something, he could die. And they're pretty I think they're like an invasive species, honestly.
Okay.
And they're pretty like prominent around here. And so if you're ever like out, if I'm ever like doing yard work and it's like getting close to dark, I'll oftentimes like pull weeds and like see a couple of them like running around, and I'll get the gun and put him out. The gun works good because
Everybody kills the Bufutos, bro. You can't be fat. You can't be.
Well,
fat.
yeah, I mean, I feel
They
bad.
killed the dogs.
Yeah, I feel bad ending any life, and like I don't know, just the thought of like my action ending a life of
I
another.
know
thing
it does
is, like,
feel kind of
weird.
strange. That first night we like murdered that one, and
That-
we didn't have anything.
That's what made
here.
me get the gun. Yeah,
we needed. That's why he got the gun because we didn't have anything here. So I was like,
I had a sharp stick.
he was like pinning it down with a stick, and I was like trying to cut its head with
and
like
you had
some shears.
You had
Some
wheat-
gardening
Yeah,
shears.
gardening shears.
Oh my
and
gosh.
it was bad.
I was
bad.
hitting it with rocks first, wasn't I?
I don't know what you were doing.
We had like tried several methods because there was a giant one out back one time. We were mid podcast. We were in the break of the podcast, and we were
And
just.
Gohan was out there barking.
And this is gonna sound cruel to the listeners. This is gonna sound like animal cruelty, but I'm telling you, I'm doing it for the greater good because they could kill Gohan and they're invasive species. But yeah, it was out back, and me and Danny were just like, oh hell no. And so it's like hopping around trying to get away, and I think I was at first trying to like drop like
Oh,
rocks
rock,
on
a
it or
stone,
something.
yeah,
And I think
stone.
I dropped a rock on it, and
You
then I
did.
like lifted the rock up, and it just
you
keeps
just-
hopping away. And I'm
Yeah.
like, whoa, the thing's like got armor.
It's like a tank.
Yeah, and it seemed like nothing we did, no like puncture. They're almost like like you can't puncture them. They have like an armor. And then I ended up getting a big long sharp stick, and at one point I like pinned it down, and then Danny used the shears and it
It's nasty.
Executioner style.
execution. Yeah.
Yeah.
But now the pellet gun works good because now anytime I see one, I can just load the pellet gun and just aim for the back of its head and just
Yeah.
one shot, one kill.
Dude, I got chickens. I've got like chickens, like 7 of them, and where my backyard goes, there's like our yard goes around, chicken coops in the middle of the yard, and there's like woods all right here.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the 6 Mile Cypress Slough kind of runs like it's all kind of behind my house, but like the boundary line of like the back of the wilderness of that place is like on my backyard pretty much.
Mhm.
So we've gotten like a lot of wild animals like coyotes and stuff like in the yard. And so one time right after I got my guns actually and got like my concealed and everything and I was like fully trained, ready to go.
Yeah.
I get a family of like boars come into the yard and I was like chilling. It was a big like mom boar and then like 4 babies and I was like, so I didn't really want to kill it because of the babies. I didn't want to kill the mom. So I was like, as long as she doesn't like try to get the chickens, we're okay. I'll let her eat the grass because they were just eating grass. So I was like keeping an eye on it. And she was just like eating grass around the chicken coop. That was fine. She came back the next day. I was at work. My wife called me, freaking out because she's like, the boar's back. I'm like, just keep an eye on it. I'm like on my way home, but I was in like Punta Gorda. I was like, I won't be home for like 30 minutes. And then she's screaming, it's in the coop, and then hangs up. So I'm like, dang. And I'm like trying to fly home. I want to get home.
She's running out there with the gun.
No. When I get home, so the chickens are like in the like the nesting pen, so like they can't get like the boar won't hurt it. You know, it's got like a closed door between it. So but it's inside the boar did like go like around like under the thing and get inside like the pen, I guess, or the chicken coop. Yeah, the pen, not the coop.
Yeah.
So it's in there, and I'm like thinking, what do I do? I'm like, didn't really want to shoot it or around it, just for like the sake of like, I have some property, but it's like there I do have neighbors too. So I was like, and I just became a gun owner, so I was kind of like, I don't know. So I let it chill because it wasn't gonna harm the chickens yet, and I was like, let me just see if he finds his way out, and he did. So I was like, cool. And then he goes to my neighbor's yard, and I just hear, and I'm like, and then I was like, damn. And I've never seen the boar since. But I talked to my neighbor about it, and he was like, oh yeah, I
We
seen
ate that thing for dinner.
Yeah, he's like, I seen the boar and 4 little babies, and he's like, I just took my rifle and aimed one shot at it, and he's like, I didn't hit it. I don't think so. He's like, I hit one thing and seen the mom and 4 babies run off, and I was like, dang. So now I know.
Yeah, no, in Texas, like they're an invasive species, and like they do a lot of property damage no matter where they are.
Mm-hmm.
So best chance is either just to kill them or send them somewhere else. But in Texas, we're kind of a different breed, and so we go hunting with like people go hunting them with guns or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But like the next level to that is hunting them with a knife. But, like,
What?
that's all you got. I mean,
Wow.
people may have like a pistol or whatever,
Mhm.
but you got like this big like Bowie
That's
knife.
cool.
And you're waiting for it to like charge you and get close.
You're like, come on.
And you're just like, come on, come at me. And so like they'll kill them like that.
Wow.
And so
That's
it's
gnarly.
crazy. It's crazy.
Man.
The one thing that I have no remorse for killing though is rattlesnakes, bro. Like the place where I used to live is Jacksboro in Texas. I've lived everywhere in Texas, but the rattlesnakes there, it's like, let's see, I don't know. The rattlesnakes there, the biggest one that my mom and I ever killed was 4 foot long and like 6 inches around.
Jeez.
Like, bro, and like these are like diamondbacks.
Oh my
And
god.
so like we don't mess with them, and yet like while I was in that area, I had the best cat ever. This is why like I have respect for cats. Then like you're like, I don't like cats. I'm like, I can't not like them just because of this one cat.
Wow.
And almost every cat that I've had has at least some resemblance of this cat, or at least acts in his manner. This cat, like nothing could kill it. Literally nothing. It would it'd always kill like mice or whatever and bring like the guts and the tail up to the front porch. I'm like, yo, look what I killed. And we're like, gross. And then my dog would like clean it off and eat the guts. I'm like, you're disgusting. But eventually got to the point where it would start dropping rattlers, just the tail end of these rattlesnakes. And so we'd get like 4 or 5 like in a year just dropped off at our front porch. So our cat was killing rattlesnakes.
Jeez.
Wow.
And some of the rattlers were getting like this big, and it's like
He's leveling up.
he's leveling up. He's getting experience, bro. Probably the craziest thing like he brought up is either just one big rat or like a possum, where I guess the cat had eaten like the front half, like the head to like the torso area, and then brought the back half of the body, and like tail's like this long, the butt end is like this long. I'm like, that thing is bigger than you are, bro. Like, how'd you kill this thing?
This cat's
do
a
it.
warrior.
Bro, I have never had a better cat than that one. 1, to kill rattlesnakes, which is crazy to me. 2, to kill that thing and survive. It's an outdoor cat, but we called him, well, I named him Milo because he's an orange tabby, but just the sweetest cat ever. Would follow you around. We take it on walks. We trained it like a dog, basically, like
Wow.
sit, heel, lay down, roll over, that type of
Wow.
stuff. Wouldn't fetch. Well, it'd fetch rattlesnakes, but yeah, it's just one of the best cats ever. So,
Heck yeah.
but yeah,
That's what's up, dude. When you would kill the rattlesnakes, what would you kill them with? Like
shovel
a sword,
or
shovel,
a gun.
gun.
So, the biggest one that we killed, we had like a lifetime table in the garage, and it was an open garage, it's like the older style garages, and so we just had it laid up against the wall, and my dog was barking at it, and like those rattlers, they're loud, like you'll hear them like over your dog barking almost.
Wow.
And so I'm like hearing this rattle, I'm like, what is it? I don't think it's cicada season, because it's like, you know, cicadas are loud and stuff, and annoying. But my dog's barking, my cat's just sitting it, like I could see the cat sitting in front of this like opening, just his tail flickering and just watching and hearing the sound. I'm like, oh no. And so it was right before we had to go to a baseball game, all this stuff. And I went inside, I was like, Mom, I think we got a rattler. And we went out, we pulled the table back, and it's just sitting there, just this beast of a snake. And my dad had this root cutter, which is just this blade with an edge to it with a big like shovel handle to it. So we got that, and my mom got her shovel, her spade, and pinned it down, and the snake was striking itself, striking the shovel and all this stuff. And like it took me so long to try to like actually get the head portion of it, and eventually we got it. But bro, they're strong.
You just put that thing around the head and cut the head off.
No, it's like a vertical axe. So the axe, you have the head, and the stem goes down here. With the root cutter, it was like that, and so it's like the shovel motion,
Yeah.
going down, but just multiple times.
Yeah.
And so just to aim that thing and to not like cut it like in half,
Yeah.
you have to like it was hard, but we killed it, put the table back, just left it there because it takes a while for their muscles to stop having reactions. So like even if you kill it, don't touch the head because it will strike you.
Wow.
so my dad would always tell us the story where, like, his uncle told him to pick up this dead rattlesnake. The head was cut off, and so it's just this headless, bloody meat end. And he picked it up, and it would, like, try to strike him, but all it would have was this bloody meat stub would be hitting him. And he tells us that it freaked him out the entire time. I'm like, yeah, I'm glad you never had us do that.
Yeah, right.
So, but yeah, that's probably the gnarliest thing that I've come across. So.
Yeah, that's crazy. How are the spiders out there? Are some gnarly ones out there?
Yes, actually.
I hate spiders.
The other place I lived in, Jacksboro, we had tarantulas in the yard.
No.
Just wild tarantulas and scorpions. But
how big? Oh.
Yeah, and so my mom would be mowing, and
Oh,
like
gosh.
I don't think she'd ever try to run them over. But this one spider would crawl up like on the wheel and stuff, and then just sat on top of the mower as my mom's mowing. She just keeps going. I'm watching. I'm like,
gosh.
Mom, there's a spider on the mower. And she's like, yeah, I know. I'm like, okay. And so that's, we had a lot of fun with that. There's a lot of rat snakes out there as well, and so like there's this. Basically, we had pet snakes as well.
Is that like a little gardener snake?
Yeah, basically, they actually kill rattlesnakes.
Oh,
so
no.
it's really good to have them around because they keep the rattlesnakes away. So we never killed those. We just let them go, and none of us ever got bit by snakes. Just let them keep going, doing their thing.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's been an interesting childhood, honestly, growing up with that stuff, being around that stuff.
I bet, man. It's crazy for me to hear because I'm like a Florida boy, dude, and it's like it's just crazy to hear the differences. Mm-hmm. It's crazy. Well, how old are you?
22.
22.
Yeah,
I'm 23.
So, but I mean, y'all have gators and pythons here, so.
Yeah.
Like.
Yeah, there's other things. Yeah.
Yeah, alligators are freaky.
Yeah, everybody's got their stuff, I guess, dude. Everybody's got their stuff. Texas is open carry, right?
I think so. I'm not sure. I do know that they passed a law to where you could basically like carry around like a full broadsword and you don't have to have a license for it.
Broadsword.
Like so, like
just a sword on your back.
Somebody could be like, "Yo, what you got?" And they're like, "Got a sword." And they're like, "Bruh, are you allowed?" And you're like, "Yeah, I'm in Texas. I'm in Texas right now, bro." And we're like, "Okay."
Never get mugged when you got a sword on your back.
Bro, for real.
I know, right?
Don't touch it. But it depends. I think. I do know that they do. I believe they have like some like strictness about it, but like, so I mean I wasn't like ever huge into it. I did go like shoot rifles at the range or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I hate shotguns, bro. They're so hard. Or like clay shooting. Like,
I've never been.
I'm not good at it. Like they'll be like, okay, watch it and then shoot. I'm like, okay, I'd blink and then shoot. I'm like, sorry. But like with like rifles and stuff, like. There wasn't one that was too far away for me to not shoot. For some reason, it was just a lot easier than a shotgun.
True.
So.
True. Handguns or no?
Yeah, I can do pistols fairly well as well.
Nice.
I don't know like the furthest I've shot, but I always hit the target.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, that's my favorite. I really want to I like shooting. I really want to my goal would be to get some property. I always want property so I can ride. I love dirt biking and four wheeling and stuff. And I would ideally I want to buy a house with property, and I want to in the backyard. I'm gonna have it set up, bro. My backyard's gonna be sick. I'm gonna have a mini ramp. I'm gonna have
X game modes.
Yeah, I'm gonna hopefully have, if I can get blessed enough to the point where my freaking backyard I can shoot there. I don't have neighbors and I can shoot. I want to get old cars, get your old car when it finally blows up, get wrecker cars and have them have a couple in my backyard and just have almost do some tactical stuff where I'm where you're getting out of the car, running, worst case scenario type stuff, gun ready to go, hand on the steering wheel, keys out the ignition, you pull your gun, you jump out the car, you come out, have steel targets, bing, 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 come out, switch to your long gun, ba, 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 roll under the car. That's what I want to do, because that to me, I like shooting, but shooting at a range, just stand still. It's ideal, but honestly, I mean, I never want to have to use it, obviously, but like if I were gonna have to use it, I feel like it's better to have. I mean, to know how to shoot is definitely good, but to know how to like shoot under that type of pressure would be like a lot better.
Yeah, like if that were the scenario, like in our times where we actually have to defend ourselves like that, like most likely it's gonna be in urban areas, like houses or cities or whatever. You're gonna be driving your car, and like you're gonna have to like defend yourself like that.
Yeah.
I definitely like I've done the last time I went to the range. Like we did, of course, like standalone shooting and stuff. But we did do we called it a run and gun, which basically we had we'd have a barrel. We'd shoot the targets with our like AR or whatever. We'd run with our Glock, shoot the like 10 yards away, shoot 2 targets, and then run to the next barrel. Holster the Glock, get the AR like from because we throw it over our shoulders, and then pull it back around and shoot one target that's at like 50 meters and the other one's at like 100 meters.
Yeah,
and
I like that.
It was super fun, and like the first time that I did it, like the first shot got it, the 2 pistol shots like almost bullseye, and then the first shot after that, like I missed it, and the second shot I got it. And then the furthest shot I got on the first try, and I was like, yes. As like the first time that I'm doing this, I'm like, I'm a natural. This is great.
Heck yeah.
But no, it was really fun doing that. And like honestly, just to have a respect for that is the main thing. Yeah, I think that's just I think to have that respect is super important.
Definitely.
To not be like afraid of that stuff.
Yeah.
And just be aware of what it can do.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, I used to be really. Not like scared, but I remember like my first time shooting young. I didn't grow up shooting, so my first time shooting was just me. I know we got to wrap it up. I know cameras are freaking out. I hear them over there. But like my first time, I just went to the gun range when I was 18 and just like started shooting. I was like, let me just shoot. When you're 18 down here, at the time you can only shoot like long guns. I think now you got to be 21 to shoot anything, but when I was 18, you could be 18 and shoot any long gun, rifle, shotgun, machine gun, and you had to be 21 to shoot handguns, which doesn't make a whole lot of sense, but it was what it was. So I went and shot like a whole bunch of stuff. But I remember like freaking out. I remember like loading the gun for the first time, and I was like shaking, I'm like, trying to shoot.
Dude, that's how I'll be. I've never shot a gun before.
Yeah, but yeah, we'll have to go for sure. Yeah, now that I understand like safety and all that, I've taken a couple classes on like I got my CCW, but then on top of that I also took like a basic firearm training class for pistols where you shoot like for the CCW you only really need to shoot 5 rounds, like five bullets down a target. For the pistol training you got to shoot like 100 rounds.
Oh dang.
So just a lot more in depth. They go into it as far as just what you need to do to really shoot a pistol accurately. Under pressure, from the hip, all things like that. So that was fun. But
yeah, like I haven't ever taken any classes, but I kind of grew up doing that or being around it to where my dad was like, yo, let's go shoot the toaster out of the tree or
heck
whatever.
yeah.
Just because we lived on that ranch.
I wish. Yeah, heck yeah.
We lived on 2 ranches with tons of land to where there's not another person for a few miles.
That's awesome.
And so we're like, oh, let's go put like our trash up in a tree and shoot it out of the tree.
Heck yeah.
Or or go look for rattlesnakes or whatever. So like when it came to like my friends having ARs or whatever, most of them went to the army or whatever, so they're trained in the army. And don't mess up, don't get your thumb flesh above that Glock, the top barrel.
Glock slide.
Oh, bro.
Like
I've heard stories. I'm like, ooh.
Yeah.
So I was like when I did the running gun, I drew it and like made sure I'm like, okay, I'm good.
Yeah.
I went. I was like, okay, I'm not.
Wait, what is it? You don't want to have.
So when you shoot the Glock slide, or
the slide of the gun is gonna like.
Yeah. Yeah, so when you shoot, it's gonna...
It rapidly goes like that.
It goes back to unload the
shell?
The shell, and then reload the gun, so that, because it's spring-loaded here, and the mag is spring-loaded, so push it up into place, and then the recoil will push it back, and then it'll pop that bullet up, and then it'll start
Send
moving
another
out,
one.
and then it'll shove it forward into the chamber.
Oh, okay.
So when it pops back, it's gonna pop back past the handle. So you want to make sure that you don't get your hand there. Else it'll be a big owie, and it hurts a lot. So
Dang.
Yeah. Wow.
yeah, but it's super fun and just like an experience.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, it's fun.
And I just want to learn that respect. Like I want to learn like it's a skill that I've always wanted to have just in case. You know what
Bro,
I mean?
one of the best feelings is literally, especially like now, like I literally, day I just want to do it. I'll literally pack up my guns, drive to the gun range by myself, get to the gun range, just check in, unload, put my headphones in. I listen to music, and I'm just listening to music, like popping with my AirPods in. And that's just fun, dude. It's because it's fun to shoot too, like because it's like
It's a sport. Yeah.
it's a sport. Like it's a challenge. Like you're like, I'm gonna hit a bullseye. It's like, oh, and then you're finding out, I didn't hit it. Where can I go?
Yeah, because I
And
used to
it's-
love shooting airsoft guns for like the sport of it, like hitting targets and hitting hitting each other and stuff like that. With no glasses, we wouldn't
I
even
know.
wear goggles.
I thought about that the other day. I was like, thank God.
We could have
'cause-
went blind,
oh my gosh,
bro.
dude.
dude, so I lived in an RV park for 2 years as well. And so there's this kid that was down the lane, basically. He had an airsoft gun. He's like, yeah, look at this. And like I was like, gun safety was drilled into me. You always have it on safety. You never put your finger on the trigger unless you are going to shoot it.
Mm-hmm.
And this dude's like pointing it at us. I'm like, bro, don't even do that with the airsoft gun with me. I'm like, I'm not playing. He's like, oh, this, and I took it from him like real quick, and then I shot him in the butt. He started crying. I'm like, bro, I told you, don't do it. And so I mean, of course, it's just this plastic BB or whatever. And so I was like, bro, I'm not joking with this gun safety stuff. Like, of course, then I turned around and shoot him in the butt. But it's just a concept because he was not. This kid wasn't. He was like almost out of control, like egotistical, narcissistic tendencies, and so he's just trying to. He's a jerk basically, and so I was like, I'm not having it with you, because you need to learn that your actions affect people.
Yeah.
So
Mm-hmm.
he was doing that, so it affected him. So
Yep.
but
Yeah.
it's
That's hilarious.
dude.
I'm not playing.
Because it's scary waving something around like that, even
Oh,
if
it is.
it is
Dude.
with airsoft
No,
gun.
it is.
You could
Yeah.
accidentally
I'd
pop
have
someone
done
in
the
the
same
face.
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so the fun thing to do is paintball.
Yeah.
I
I've
like-
never been paintball shooting, but I've
Bro.
always wanted to.
It's like it does sting, but the thing that I think where you get shot is what matters. I got shot like along the spine, as like I got shot. I got shot in the chest. I was like, okay, turned around, started walking back, and somebody did me dirty and like put three on my spine, and like it felt like it went through me almost.
Wow.
And, like I you know, like that pain reaction to where you like reach for it and stuff,
Yeah.
and like I arched my back, reached for it, and dropped to my knees type of stuff.
Dang.
And I was like, fell on my face in pain. 'Cause it
Wow.
hurt so bad. And I was like, bro, this is my pain tolerance is pretty high, but that
Was it? Were you just wearing your shirt?
no, I actually had like padding on and stuff, but
Wow.
for some reason it made
Dang.
contact with my spine and something.
Yeah, I've never got hit by a paintball, so I
It
don't know.
stings. It'll definitely bruises and whelps, and if you're close enough, like it'll leave like a blood ring or whatever. So like it stings.
Yeah.
Just don't point it at your foot and shoot your foot. So.
I can't shoot my foot, man. I gotta skate.
For
Well, could it like break toes or something?
I don't think so. Well, I mean, of course, like if you
Yeah,
took
like
your
point
shoe off
blank,
and
yeah.
pointed at your toe, maybe. But
Your
like you're
pinky.
always a few yards away or whatever, and you're shooting people. So, yeah, that was fun stuff. My high school was different. So,
Friday night
yeah.
paintball.
Alright.
Friday night lights at the paintball field.
Dude, absolutely.
That'd be fun, dude. They have a paintball thing like in Cape Coral.
Really?
Yeah, I think it's called. It used to be called like Mike Greenwell's or something. I don't know if it got renamed, but it's pretty. I don't know if it's cool or not, but
Might have to check it out one day.
place.
Mhm.
Yeah, I'd be down. I wanted to buy a paintball gun because I bought not a BB gun. What's It is a BB gun. The CO2 powered BB guns. Yeah.
Yeah.
I bought one of those, but it jammed up. I needed something for like to pop some raccoons. Not trying to pop it with a 9mm, so I like. But
Trying to
the
end its life.
yeah, right. The thing doesn't work. It got broken, so I was like gonna buy a paintball gun, but I was like, nah. Everything's so expensive right now. I mean, paintball guns used to be like $80,
Mm-hmm.
and now they're like easy 120, 140.
Bro, it's crazy. Like, I want to have fun, but like, I don't want to drop that money.
For real.
That. Like, I could put it in the stock market. Or actually invest
Actually
it. You know?
make some money, yeah, for real.
So it's
I
like,
know, it's crazy. I hate spending money to
Dude.
not make it.
dude, absolutely. Except if it's on food. Like, bro, that's
Yeah,
my
food's-
weakness. Like,
yeah.
Chick-fil-A, Culver's, bro. Oh.
Culver's is the most fire
Culver's is
fast food.
fire, yeah. I know, bro. It's almost not even fast food.
Yeah.
They're like, it is, but it's not. Like,
It's the
that's
way I
fire.
see it is like,
It's
you know,
Steak and Shake on wheels.
Yeah.
For real.
with I think it's better than steak
It's better
and
than
shake.
Steak and
Because with
Shake,
fast
yeah.
food places,
That's
a
just-
lot
I
of
can't
times it's
disrespect
like,
Culver's like that.
oh, I like Burger King because they have like really good burgers. I like Wendy's because they have like really good Frosties. I like this because they got really good fries. Culver's is one that everything to me is good.
Is Culver's goated on the fast food chain?
To me, it is because
I
it's
would
got their
almost say
fries
so.
are like top tier
Their onion
fries.
rings
They've
are
got cheese curds
out of
that
the
are
world.
top tier. Onion rings top tier. The burgers are fantastic.
Their chicken
The
sandwich.
dessert options are
Fire.
great.
I don't like their custards.
You don't like them?
It's-
What?
Dude, when I got it, it was like
No.
this ice cream that's like hot, but also like cold at the same time. Like it's like cold, frothy. It's like if you heated up normal ice cream, but made it cold again. Like, bro, it's terrible. I hated it.
Wow, I love their concrete mixer.
Oh, bro, I just like I like their burgers and fries, and they put a little pickle on top. Oh,
Fire.
I do have to say though that Whataburger.
I've never,
Never
had
been.
it.
Well, we're gonna have to go. I'm gonna take y'all home to Lubbock, Texas, where fast food and food is 10 times better than any place you will ever go.
Yeah.
What?
It's weird.
Heck
I
yeah.
don't know if it's dirt that blows in the food, but it's crazy. It's crazy.
I've heard In-N-Out is a fire fast food
No.
place too.
No.
I've never been there.
That's a big.
Don't.
That's a
Don't.
big. That's a big argument for
Don't.
Whataburger and In-N-Out.
Oh, really?
guys.
Bro, In-N-Out is like mid tier. It's a burger and fries.
We
That's
gotta
it.
try. Is there any Whataburgers in? There might be one in Orlando.
I think the closest one is in Tallahassee. Yeah, or I don't even know if there's one in Florida. Honestly,
Wow. I wouldn't doubt it. Yeah, I don't think there is.
Whataburger, Schlotchkes. Rose's is a Texas chain, but it's like fast food Mexican. Well, kind of fast food. It's like Mexican restaurant, but faster. They make their own tortillas and they like have a glass like dome that you can watch them.
Oh, that's
and by
sick.
the end of it, it's like this big like tortilla puffball, and then it like lands it and it deflates. And it's like, dude, tortillas are so good there.
Wow.
It's
What?
insane. Like literally anything in Lubbock, Texas is 100% better. Like Chick-fil-A, like I love Chick-fil-A there. I like Chick-fil-A here, but it's just different, bro.
Even the Chick-fil-A's hit different.
Yeah.
Wow.
I bet the Mexican food hits different. Mexican
Bro.
food's my favorite, and
Tex-
Texas is you'd have real Tex-Mex, right?
Yeah. So like if you go to a like authentic Mexican restaurant versus a Tex-Mex place will 100% be better because there's actually grease in it and flavor. Just because like Texas will like over flavor it, which to me that's how I make my food is over flavored. Just because like I ain't about to have some bland food.
Yeah.
So the Tex-Mex there, it's so good. Like the closest thing you could get to it here is tacos and tequila.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't you and Bree frequent that place?
Yeah, that's
Place is good.
just about the closest, and even there, if that were in Texas, it'd probably be like a mid-tier to low-tier Mexican food place. So,
Wow.
Have you been to Canteen Laredo?
is that in Gulf Coast?
Bell Tower. Cantina 109 is in Gulf Coast.
Oh, I've
That
been
place
to-
is trash.
Yeah, it's not that great. I haven't been to Cantina Laredo.
Cantina Laredo is pretty good. Senior Tequilas. They got one in Bonita.
Yeah.
You been there?
Yeah, I've been there.
That's alright. That's alright.
We went in there, so you know, like that sulfur sewer smell.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it smelled like in there.
Oh no.
And I don't
That's
know.
not welcoming.
I don't know if it backed up in there or what happened. They just having a bad day for their sewer, but it was not the vibe. It wasn't that great.
Yeah.
I do like Iguanamias.
I've never been to
I've never
Iguana.
been.
It's good.
in
There's
a
one in
minute.
Bonita.
Yeah.
It's just fun. It's I think on Tuesdays it's like $2 sangria swirls. It
There
says
you
like ice cream alcohol.
Oh wow,
There
that
you
sounds
So
great.
it's nice. The smothered burritos, I like those. But yeah, Tex-Mex in Texas, it hits different, bro. It's great.
I bet.
It's
I
great.
bet. Yeah.
I need to visit Texas.
Me too.
Yeah, let's go. I got some great people there. Yeah, actually, y'all met them, Adam and
Oh yeah,
those guys.
Mhm.
road trip.
Yeah.
Dude, let's do it. Daphne
do it.
wants to do a road trip back there. I'm like, why? She's like, so we can fit all our stuff. I was like, okay. Sounds good. But bro, it's a hard, long drive. Like you could do it in 2 days, but you're driving 14 to 12 hours the first day, and then 8 hours to 10 hours the next day.
Mm-hmm.
Or you could like do it in 3 days and like do 8, 8, and 8. So it's rough, but like it's still fun. I've done it 4 times.
How long's the drive?
20. Well, if you drive straight with no stops, it's 22 hours. So it's
Wow.
about 24-hour drive.
Jeez. Yeah, the drive to Pennsylvania that I would do when I lived there was 18 hours, and we did that in two trips every time we did it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think pretty much anything over like 15 hours, you're like you have to push it to 2 days. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like 14,
Facts.
you're getting hard. That's
Yep.
hard.
Yeah. The
drive-
longest. Yeah. The
An
longest
all-nighter
drive.
sucks on a regular day, let
Yeah.
alone on the road trip.
Yeah. The longest drive I've done, I think, was a 13 or 14 hour drive
Mhm.
coming from Tennessee back here.
You go straight through?
Yeah. But that was, like you said, that was like tapping out. I mean, me and my friend were like malnourished, dehydrated. We came back to like, it was when Irma came through. It was a hurricane down here in 2017 that we had.
Mm-hmm.
And me and my girl went to North Carolina and her family. And then my boy went to Tennessee, and I met him in Tennessee, and we drove back together because I had to get back down to work. And we came back home. We got to my house at like 11:30 at night. No power. It was like 95 degrees in my house.
Oh,
I'm
no.
like, oh gosh, this sucks. Yeah, it was rough. All we had to eat that day was we stopped in Atlanta and got like at the Varsity, and that's basically like got like burgers and fries. It's basically like fast food.
Got you.
And yeah, we got home. I was like 13 hours was rough. And aside from that, I did like, I did about 11 or 12 just recently, this past August, coming back from Blue Ridge Mountains.
Oh man.
We got stuck in traffic in Atlanta, and it made it a 9-hour drive like an 11 because it was
Jeez.
insane.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, this past September, we went to me, Daphne's best friend Alyssa, and her boyfriend Chris. We drove to Pigeon Forge, I think, Tennessee,
Tennessee, nice.
for the Jeep event, and
Sick.
there's some crazy Jeeps there, bro. But it was super fun driving that far
Heck yeah.
and being in those mountains. Like for me, ideally, I want to live in California, but it sucks because it's just the politics, the everything there is just not.
Taxes
great.
are rough
Yeah,
there
taxes.
too. Yeah.
And so it's like, if I had a place where I could be at the beach and the mountains at the same time, put me there. But there's just not that many places that have that, so it's like, so we gotta move to Peru or something.
Yeah, Tennessee or Georgia, North Carolina, that's a place where I could see myself living. I would definitely, like, the goal would be to have a house there and here, because I got family here, and I love Florida. But I love the mountains, man. Like you say, I love hiking, and like
Yeah.
you just can't hike here. Like
Yeah.
there's
That's one
nothing
regret
to-
I have from living in Pennsylvania is I never went on a camping trip. I went on the whole 2 years I was there. I went on one hiking trip that was super fun, but that was the only one I did, and I didn't do any camping trips because I didn't. I would have had to go alone, and I didn't know like the wildlife of Pennsylvania or like actual woods. Because here it's like it's woods, but it's like swamp. It's not like you can't get lost from civilization and like stuff around here. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you step off the path and it's just water. It's
Yeah.
swamp water.
Yeah, and then even still, if you walked for like long enough, you'd probably hit something. But like where I was hiking in Pennsylvania, it was like you could legit get lost in the woods and like die or something.
Yeah.
Not to mention like things I've never dealt with, like grizzly bears and stuff like that. So it like scared me to think about a solo camping trip up there. So I just never did. Regret it.
Dang.
I love the mountains though.
Yeah, there's a park I want to go. Woodward is in Pennsylvania. I want to go there really bad.
Bet.
Woodward would be awesome.
It's
bro.
like in the middle of like nowhere. It seems like
Yeah,
like
it's like a giant. I don't even know how many acres, but it's just the skate heaven.
Jeez.
Have you heard of Woodward?
No.
Dude, we used to dream as kids. Our mom even like threw the idea out there of like maybe we could like. We never did summer camps or anything like that as kids, but that is a skate summer camp, and she like rolled around the idea for a second. She was like,
"It's super expensive."
Yeah,
that's super expensive.
But being a camper at Woodward, would be the
you get like a
coolest
week.
thing.
You get like a week there.
Wow.
Anything you want to skate, they have it. Mega ramp, they have it. Half pipe, they have it. Like,
jeez.
And you just camp there. Parks. Yeah, you just camp there and like golf cart around to like different things that they have and just skate for weeks.
That's where Mike Mo ended his career. That's where Mike Mo got the golf cart accident where he broke his leg in half.
Really?
Yeah, it was Woodward. They were driving a golf cart at night. He wasn't
even skating?
No, him and like 4 other dudes were in a golf cart at like near night, like where it's like the lights are coming out and you know like it's dark outside, and they were like coming and there was a spot where like it drops into a bowl or something. Mm-hmm. There was like a path, and then if you go off the path, it leads to a skate park, and it like drops off into the skate park. Mm-hmm. And they went off the path, and then they didn't realize that like they were coming to that like drop off, and so the golf cart dropped, and it went on his driver's side, and then he went instinctively like that, to like catch it, but it's a golf cart going on top of it, so it snapped his leg in half, and tore everything in his knee, broke his leg in half, and he can't skate anymore. Dude. Well, no, he still skates, but he's not like a pro skater anymore, really. Dude.
Bro, you know what's like an absolute like inspiration for me is to watch Tony Hawk do these tricks for like the last time, and I'm like,
yeah, he did the last 720 or whatever a while back.
Yeah, dude, like it's heartbreaking, but I'm like, this dude's like 50 and lived his dream and brought like skating into like pop culture basically, and it's just like. Like an icon to me, honestly.
Did you see the X Games that just passed? A kid did a 1080 on a half pipe. Like how he did the first 900. A kid did a first 1080 on a half pipe. Because someone did a 1080. I think Mitchy Brusco was the one who did it. But he did a 1080, but it was on a mega ramp. So it's like giant air where you can just spin. And it's gnarly as heck. I'm not taking it away. But it's like easier to get that many spins in than it is on a vert ramp. Yeah. And a kid did a 1080 in X Games, and like he didn't even. I don't know if he knew. And he must have known Tony Hawk was there, but like he gave Tony Hawk a hug, like crying as he like got up on the deck, and he won X Games and everything. Crazy history.
Imagine he didn't win for that. That'd be crazy.
Yeah, if you do a first 1080 to ever be done and you don't win,
but your other runs were bad. You're like,
oh no!
That's the one trick I can do.
That was that was the one where you can't win, but you're just doing one for the crowd. Let me just do an MVD.
Oh my gosh! Imagine it was like, all right, he's not gonna qualify, but this one's for the crowd. Okay, he 1080. So
we've never seen that trick in history.
Dude, it's crazy. No,
so. Did you have anything else you wanted to say?
I was just saying about the skimboarding. Like I just got my my carbon fiber board.
Yeah.
And to do like pop shove-its or whatever. Mm-hmm. Like I'm working on consistently getting my 360 down. But when I first got it, I was like, I'm gonna see how far I can spin it. I almost landed like either a 5.8 or like a 720.
Wow.
And like I've landed some clean 360s, but like I haven't like gotten past that, and to almost land that with this new board, I'm like, oh,
that's crazy.
I gotta like practice every day now. I can't stop. And
yeah,
that's about all I was gonna say.
That's crazy though. Do you go to Bonita Beach?
Just the closest one, honestly.
Yeah.
So in the winter, Naples beaches seem to be better, just because they get steeper in the waves. When the waves are good, it'll form the beach to where it'll crash and then go up. And then you can run down and catch it and get the next wave and really carve it. But yeah, just pretty much the closest one.
You ever been to Venice?
That's on the East Coast, right?
Nah, it's on our coast.
Really? No.
Yeah, it's only like an hour from here.
Really? No.
Yeah, we'll have to drive up there. We can drive up there together sometime.
Bet.
It's dope. It's sick. It's pretty. I think it's pretty. I mean. I guess it's obviously momentarily, but it's a lot better than what we'd see over here.
Okay.
I think beaches seem better. I went there once. Oh, I've been there. I went to the beach once. I've been there a lot for work, and I'm always seeing like I go over this bridge to go to. There's a place off of Venice called Rotunda West. It's pretty cool too. Not ideal. They don't have any beaches. It's just kind of like this big circle, but you see the water, and I'm always looking at it, and I'm like, wow, like that's. ideal.
Yeah.
It seems cool.
But
But
I think Daphne and I are gonna take a trip here pretty soon. One to go to Devil's Den.
I've heard that's
Nice.
awesome.
Dude,
Yeah.
I'm like, I want to go to like all those places here in Florida to like that one adventure like water park where it's just massive trees and they've got swings and slides off this tree into this river. But we're gonna go to Devil's Den one day. Like drive up there, go to Devil's Den, spend most of the day there, and then drive to the East Coast, stay in an Airbnb or whatever, and then go surfing the next day,
Nice.
and then drive back, and just make like kind of like a road trip out of it. But like the one day that I did surfing, like I can't tell you how much fun it is. It's crazy. I don't know.
I bet, dude. That's cool. You said you bought a surfboard?
No, we so Daphne, her board, like she was keeping it at my place for a little bit while she moved and stuff, and the wind blew it over in my lanai, and it fell on a pot and broke the pot and stuff. But a shard went into the surfboard and like there's a ding on it basically.
Okay.
And so you can't surf with that because it's because you don't want the foam inside to get messed up or whatever. So she took it to Ride Nature, and one of the guys repaired it for her, and actually repaired another ding on top of the board and stuff. And so we just got it back and got it today and took it back to her place. So
Nice.
Solid.
True. Yeah. That's cool, dude. I've never surfed, but I've always wanted to. East Coast is definitely where it's at for that.
Absolutely.
Even like for waves on skimboarding. I mean, East Coast is good. Miami is ideal. Miami's only like a 2 hour drive, really. Miami would be ideal for it, but just a little bit longer than it would be to go anywhere up on this coast.
Yep.
Fort Lauderdale or Boca Raton would probably be my recommendation.
Yeah, we went to Cocoa Beach.
Nice.
So it's like I think south of Daytona. It's like 20 minutes south of Cape Canaveral. So like we tried driving there to go see all the science stuff, but like for some reason we like the tickets were like $100. We're like, yeah, no, sorry. We drove here to go surfing and we spent like $20 to park, and we're like, okay, I guess we can go in now, and tickets are like $150. It was like, yeah, nah, I'm good.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah, I'll just watch like Men in Black episode 1 or whatever. I'm fine. I don't need to see this. So yeah. But
Nice, dude. Nice.
Think we should wrap it up?
Yeah, we've been going for a minute. We definitely should. It's getting late out there.
This has been fun though.
It's been fun, man.
Yeah.
It's been fun.
Nothing like it.
Heck yeah. Yeah, I'm excited to get to know your story more. I feel like we got a good little bit of it on here. But yeah, excited to get to know your story more.
For real. I'm excited to get to know y'all and just honestly hang out. Great memories, so.
Likewise.
Yeah.
Likewise.
It's gonna be tons of adventures.
Bro,
Yeah.
100%.
And we should do Cayo Costa for real. Like go to that
Dude.
island and camp. That would actually be
Dude,
so fun.
It's been one of my dreams to go island camping and like, can we do campfires on the beach?
Yeah.
So we're going next week.
Hey.
And dude,
Island boys.
if you and Bree are interested in camping, because I know you've never been camping,
I go island camping.
beach camping would be sick.
This has been episode 107.
Wait, where can they find us at, dude?
City of Palms Podcast. Instagram, YouTube, Facebook. Anywhere you listen to podcasts, new episodes every Monday. Subscribe on YouTube.
Go to the Instagram for the highlight clips if you don't got time for a podcast.
Facts. Yeah, we ain't slowing down 2022. This the first episode of 2022? Nah, we just uploaded one.
I don't know.
First one we filmed in 2022. This is it, huh?
Mhm.
Hey.
Nice.
Kicking it off.
Kicking it off.
Big things.
All right.
All right, hit him with the outro, Biscuit.
Yeah.